first win as a Major League manager Sunday. Now the Orioles take on the Yankees, a team that has beaten them in 8 consecutive ball games. And the Yankees offense hot. Kevin Millwood will try and shut it down. It's the Orioles on Masson. After a day off yesterday, the O's continue the stand at home against the first of the 2 New York teams they will play next. It's the Yankees in town to start a 3-game set. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. For the Orioles, the 10-game losing streak is gone. They got the win on Sunday. Now they've got to go up against a Yankee team whose starting pitchers right now in June have a combined 2.67 earned run average. Part of that came against the Orioles recently at Yankee Stadium. The Orioles were swept in the first game of the series. It would be the power bats. Patterson was able to get one for the Orioles. But coming right back on the other side, a Tejada error would open up a 2-run inning for the Yankees. They won it 3-1. And then doubles. Granderson, Swisher, all combining for a big inning. Robinson Cano with the long ball. Game 2 ended up 9-1 Yankees. Kevin Millwood, first inning, a balk in Game 3 that would score a run. It did not get any better. A-Rod home run, Gardner a home run. Orioles tried to come back as Jones delivered a dinger to be followed by the long ball, but it would not be enough. And the Orioles would lose that one 6-3. With Jim Palmer, we welcome you as we get started in this one for the Orioles. How about Kevin Millwood? You think there's a win somewhere?
Well, you know, this is lucky 13, hopefully. This will be his 13th start. He's pitched well enough to win. Last year, you know, he won 13 games. They got him 6 runs. This year, he's getting 2. Very difficult to win. I don't care how good you are if you get that little run support.
All right, delighted to have Eddie Murray joining us again here. Eddie, we take a look at an offense for the Orioles that's really struggled. Some pressure when you're not doing well as a group.
Well, yes, it is. And I'm sure these guys are pressing a little bit more. I tell you, Minnesota, when I saw them last, you were hoping that they were starting to find their way. But, you know, they still seem to struggle right now with the men on scoring position.
That has been a problem. We'll see if they can overcome it when we come back. First pitch, Game 1 here at Camden Yards on an absolutely beautiful early summer evening. Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And it is a gorgeous evening. Lots of blue sky, sunset time, lights on here at Camden Yards. Let's take a look at our train game time temperature. It is 75 degrees with virtually no breeze to start it out. Visit trainsearch.com to locate an independent train dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For the Yankees tonight, it'll be Jeter, Swisher, and Teixeira, Rodriguez, Cano, and Posada, Granderson, Cervelli, and Brett Gardner. Nick Swisher against the O's this season, hitting .389 with a homer and 7 RBIs.
And our scouting report on the 35-year-old Kevin Millwood. Well, is this lucky 13 start yet to win? He has struggled in the first inning. You can see the first inning blues, 8 runs in his last 3 starts. And beware the lefties. They're hitting .319, which is a lot higher with 6 home runs. The righties are in the .230 range, but with 8 of the 14 home runs he's given up. There are the numbers. Yet to win. That ERA has come up the last couple of games, but he has pitched well enough, probably about 8 or 9 times, to be able to win with any kind of run support.
Very, very tough, as Kevin Millwood has seen the ball games lately get away early against him as he gets the rematch against Philip Hughes. Those two worked against each other at the stadium in New York, and you just figure, Eddie Murray, somewhere in the cards there's got to be a W to go with that M on the back of his uniform.
Well, yeah, he's pitched pretty good, I think, quite a few times out there, and he's just he's been that hard luck guy so far, and hopefully he can start a new round here.
Derek Jeter will be stepping in to lead it off against him as we get set for the opener of this 3-game set against the Yankees. The Yankees on the road facing Toronto. First, they went 1-2 in Toronto in the first leg of the trip. They too had the day off yesterday. They are 8-1 against the Orioles. The Orioles have won the first one and have lost the last 8. Millwood to Jeter, and that'll be outside for a ball, and we are underway. Derek Jeter continuing to pump the numbers. Right now a .300 even batting average, best batting average at home this year, and he brings a 4-game hit streak into the ball game. And Millwood stays away from him, 1-1.
Well, you know, Eddie, you made a great point talking about a left-handed pull hitter, even though he's right-handed. He's already has 28 hits to center, 26 to right field. As you look at Joe Girardi, who manages Derek Jeter, not a bad guy to put in the lineup every night.
You tell him every night you can expect to put that name in there. That Earl's favorite thing. You know, you can go to sleep. You know who's playing short. You know who's playing first. That's a pretty nice little thing for a manager to have.
Something the Orioles have had very little of this season, as every night seems to be a new lineup. Jeter gets ahead on the count here. 3 balls, 1 strike. Juan Samuel, first win as a major league manager, coming Sunday in the 11-inning win, 4-3 against the Red Sox. Here's the 3-1 delivery by Millwood, and the ever-dangerous leadoff walk in an inning. This one in the game.
Take a look at the defense behind Millwood. And of course, when you have a pretty good defense, Montanez will play left. Still a little leg problem by Corey Patterson, Jones, Markakis. That's your outfield. Tejada, Esteuras, Lugo, and then Wigington over at first. Matt Wieters will do the catching tonight.
And it'll bring up Nick Swisher against Millwood. A very dangerous hitter against the Orioles. Although Swisher comes in against Millwood with an 0 for 12 going against Kevin Millwood. Swisher overall, though, at .305. First ball hitting center field. Jones back at the wall. Goodbye, home run. The second man up, Nick Swisher. A 2 RBI homer, and the Yankees lead it 2-0.
Well, there you go, number 10 on the year. And, of course, you missed to Jeter. You want to be aggressive early in the count. You can see the target, ball up pretty much down the middle, outside middle, because that's where Swisher's looking. 17th home run in 178 at-bats against the Orioles. He doesn't miss this pitch very often.
That was amazing. And like you said, Millwood had pulled the first couple of pitches outside to walk Jeter, and really trying to get this next ball over the plate.
Boy, what a devastating start for Kevin Millwood, as the first 2 not only are on, they are in. And Nick Swisher is now homered in 10 of his last 22 games in this ballpark. He's had 11 home runs here at Camden Yards in those 11 games. Here's Mike Teixeira. Teixeira struggling at the plate average-wise, hitting only .211, but the home runs, 8, RBIs, 34. Pretty good numbers for a guy who's got a batting average of just over 200.
Well, yeah, you got to figure those guys with the Yankees, they're getting on base. I mean, Jeter's going to be out there, and you're going to get some pitches to swing at with A-Rod hitting behind you.
All right, Teixeira, left-handed with that pronounced uppercut that he shows. Will take the pitch up high for a ball.
Yeah, this is not a good team, Gary, to be out of sorts in the first inning against. You know, you come out of the bullpen, you're trying to establish what you have, and all of a sudden you've done everything you didn't want to do. You started with that leadoff walk.
That one's going to be into right field for a base hit. So Swisher, he had an 0 for 12 overall coming into the ball game. He gets rid of that 0 for with a single. Here is A-Rod against Millwood at Yankee Stadium, delivering one to that power alley at the new Yankee Stadium off Millwood for a home run.
And you could see the frustration from Kevin Millwood. It was, what, about 92 degrees that day? And, you know, it started as we did in our opening with a balk, and something that I've never seen, where he slipped a little bit, and then all of a sudden it didn't seem to be a bad pitch till it sailed into the seats.
Well, the Yankees have started out a house of fire here in the first. A-Rod, a chopper towards short. Got a chance for 2. There's 1, but he couldn't get out of the glove. That should have been a double play, or at least pretty darn close, but Asturias could not get it out of the glove. They get the force.
This is definitely not the way to start this game. I mean, that right there was supposed to be his best friend, that double play. And right now, you can't imagine probably what's going through Millwood's minds right now. Just to, you know, he gave up the 2 runs and a base hit, and now there's my double play ball, and he's still pitching with someone on.
Yeah, I don't know if they would have turned it, but I'll tell you what, you'd rather at least have the opportunity, because you want to face Cano, who's stepping to the plate without anybody on. He's been that high.
Robinson Cano. You see the .363 batting average that he has put up. Cano comes into this ball game second in the American League in average, third in RBIs, first in hits, second in runs. He's got the 5th best road average at .355. And he's taking the first pitch, and it is in there for a strike.
Let's take a look at total bases. I mean, look at the amazing numbers that Robinson Cano. Of course, you know, anytime you have an off day, they're going to write the articles. A lot of writers suggesting that Joe Girardi, who manages the Yankees, he changes to Cano hitting 3rd. Teixeira should go to 5th. But when you're playing well, I don't think that's going to happen. Not in the foreseeable future.
Leave it alone. If it ain't broke, then it ain't broke. 0-2 count on Cano.
And you can see, I mean, you know, the article talked about how Joe Girardi probably protects his players as well as anybody. And it started last year when he moved Jeter from 2nd to 1st. And the reason was because Damon would hit 2nd. Jeter hit a lot of double plays, but Joe would never tell you that. It was just that Jeter can hit anywhere, which he did. He ended up hitting .330. So Girardi very good because he's a former player of understanding what it takes to play this game.
0-2 delivery, and that one down the line is foul. And bear in mind, Robinson Cano has been asked to move up in the lineup this year in a very public way. He hit in the 6th spot virtually all of last year, and everybody talked about, including Girardi, this is the year we believe in Cano. He can move up a spot in the lineup. We think he can handle it. Those were the kind of terms that were used in the spring about Cano moving up to hit behind A-Rod in the 5-hole, and here he is after a batting pattern. So it's worked out pretty darn well. 0-2 count. Millwood got it in, and that's going to be fouled off. Cano just enough to keep it alive.
Yeah, well, you're talking about not fixing it because it's not broken. I mean, Mark isn't hitting the ball, of course, but we're still looking at a guy that can go out there and help you defensively. And that's what it's all about. It's not always sometime about somebody getting hits right there. They still believe in him as a hitter. But I would not mess with that lineup at all.
You know, Teixeira, how many runs does he save over there at first base for the ball club with his defense? Runner at first base is A-Rod on a fielder's choice. Millwood will miss away with it.
Yeah, one of the best players in the American League, Dustin Pedroia. They moved him last year when Ellsbury struggled. They moved him to the leadoff. He couldn't hit there. This year, because of injuries, they moved him to 3rd. He couldn't hit there. Plug him into number 2.
Gangbusters.
Yep, exactly. It's not always physical. It can be mental.
That ball's going to be out of the reach of Lugo. A base hit. A-Rod will stop at second base. So with the inning expanded by not getting that double play, the Yankees have 2 on and 2 down.
Boy, Eddie, you know this as well as anybody. Millwood at 35, his stuff not near what it was maybe 3-4 years ago velocity-wise. So if he's going to be up and in the middle of the plate, it's going to be a short night.
Oh, yeah.
That will bring up Jorge Posada. Posada again starting as the designated hitter. It is the 6th consecutive ball game. He is still not cleared by the doctors to catch. So he's DHing, and he is 3 for 21.
Yeah, he did go down and do some work today, though, in the bullpen for the first time. I told him, I said, hey, it looked like you were running well. He said, I'm fast. I don't care if I'm 38, 39, I'm going on 40, I'm fast. I said, I wasn't talking about your speed. I just thought that you weren't favoring the foot.
Here's the 0-1 delivery to him, and that'll be taken down low. And here comes that first inning again, taking a bite out of Kevin Millwood. He started out this season not allowing runs in the first inning in his first 9 starts, but he's allowed 10 runs now in the first inning of his last 4.
And then you have a manager managing in his 4th game, Juan Samuel, that wants him to go as far as he can. You know, he knows that the Yankees want to get to the Oriole bullpen as soon as they can.
I tell you, Millwood is a guy, I tell you, I know him. He doesn't want to come out of that ball game, so he's going to stand out there and keep going until you come get him.
Let's just get out of this first inning. You got a long way to go and plenty of time to get runs for the Orioles, but you got to get out of this first. The pitch is on the inside corner. Jorge Posada will take it, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, DJ Rayburn, and he has called a couple of pitches up. I think he's one of the replacement umpires in a sense because of this time of the year. A lot of umpires go on. And Jorge, as did Cano, who stepped out, said that ball probably a little bit high, or at least higher than they're used to.
2-2 delivery, and they called him on the inside corner pitch. Kevin Millwood gets the strikeout.
Well, I'll tell you what, the umpire, DJ Rayburn, he's established the high zone. Whether it's a strike or not, we'll see if he's consistent all night long.
Well, probably at that minor league game, I'm sure you have to expand that strike zone somewhat when you're out there every night.
Pitchers will take it here. See if he stays with it. Here's Curtis Granderson. Granderson having a good month of June. He's hitting 300 in June and has upped his overall average to 250. 2 on and 2 down. Rodriguez and Cano the runners. And a strike call to Curtis Granderson. Granderson 8 for 33 lifetime off Millwood, and he has 1 home run. Virtually all of these Yankees, except for Cervelli, the catcher, have had a number of at-bats against Millwood in their careers. Granderson with a chance here to add to the 2-0 lead, and as we've seen so many times, the discussion at the mound here with a runner at second base.
Well, this is such a huge out for Kevin Millwood. I mean, the Yankees want to put him away. You know, the guy that is going to pitch for him, 23-year-old Philip Hughes, he gets 8.2 runs a game.
Yeah, it could be considered a victory getting out of this inning, too.
It really could.
For Kevin Millwood against the Yankees, he is 2-5 lifetime. 3rd start he's had this year. He's 0-1 this year. Pitch will be taken by Granderson.
And when he's on his game, and it looks like that's not the case, at least through here the first inning, and you can watch Matt Wieters, and where the glove is pretty much where the ball's going to end up.
1-1 pitch, inside corner strike, 1-2.
That's one of his favorite pitches this year. The little slider or cutter, a little bit of late movement.
Millwood up to 26 pitches here in the first inning. 1-2 delivery. Granderson will foul that one back into the seats, and it will stay at 1-2. The Yankees have continued something they started years ago now, along with the Red Sox, and that's being one of the top 3 teams in pitches seen in the course of a game. They foul off, they take a lot of pitches, there are a lot of deep counts, and it works that way up and down the lineup for Joe Girardi's ball club. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Granderson the inside out. Tejada going back in foul territory and will put it away. So Millwood, it could have been worse. Swisher gets the 2 RBI homer. The Yankees have a 2-0 lead. Starting lineup for the Orioles brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Lugo, Tejada, Markakis, Wigginton, Scott, and Jones. Wieters, Montañez, and Izturis. Luke Scott last 6. The 3.53 with a homer and 2 RBI.
And our scouting report on the 23-year-old right-hander out of Santa Ana, California. Well, back-to-back starts against the Orioles. He was able to beat them in New York. The right stuff. Right-handers are only hitting .212. No home runs. 6 doubles on the year. And then when he pitches, get the umbrellas out. It is raining runs. They already got 2 for him. They're averaging 8.2 per start. Great combination, Gary. As you know, you pitch well, they support you well, you win a lot of games.
Make a very nice, comfortable season for yourself.
Yeah, look at the numbers. Only 20 walks in 63 2/3 innings. And this is a kid. It's kind of, I guess, if we want to talk about what goes on with the Orioles' young pitchers. 2 years ago, he couldn't win a game. Last year, they put him in the bullpen the end of the year, and he was lights out. Electric stuff.
Lugo in the leadoff spot for the Orioles. Julio Lugo has faced him only once. Goes after that first pitch fastball and fouls it back. Hitting just .211 on the year. 4 RBIs for him. Julio Lugo trying to become the table setter. Certainly looks like Brian Roberts, the Orioles leadoff batter, is not going to be back. He's back. They're going to give more tests. The back is still a problem. He can't play. He can't do anything again. And so this is kind of turned it into a loop-de-loop that just keeps repeating itself.
Yeah, you just can't anticipate. Just herniated disc. Everybody says, well, they usually heal themselves, but not when you're trying to get back into baseball activities. And, you know, obviously he wants to do that, so he just have to back off even more.
Yep.
Julio, being a veteran, really has to start relaxing, and this job is his at this particular time.
Yeah, it's a great chance for him. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way from Hughes, and the breaking ball is going to miss down low. Cervelli, his battery mate. According to the Elias Sports Bureau, Hughes, the first Yankee pitcher with at least 5 wins and an ERA under 1.5 since 1958, when Bullet Bob Turley went 6-0 with a .83 for the Yankees. Down the line in right. Hughes is going after his 8th win tonight against only 1 loss. And if you go even further back, he has lost only 1 game in his last 14 starts. Going back to last year, he has 9 wins, 1 loss, and 4 no decisions in the last 14.
Yeah, the only loss a couple of games ago, he had 2 back-to-back bad starts, 1 against the Mets.
That one in the air to right field, Nick Swisher.
Well, when we saw him early on against the Orioles, he really struggled with his command. So the pitch count got up. He went 5 2/3 innings, over 103 pitches in that 5+ innings. But the stuff was there. Take a look at the Yankee defense. Gardner, Granderson, Swisher. Swisher lost about 15 pounds, playing great right field. Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira, a lot of gold gloves in that infield. And then Francisco Cervelli. Posada out's done a nice job, not only driving in runs, but calling a game.
Miguel Tejada has been one of the big bats all season long for the Orioles. Doubles in particular. They'll take the pitch inside. Iggy right now is struggling a bit at the plate as the average has dipped. He's only hit .203 in his last 29 games, covering 118 at bats. 1-0 pitch swing. He's got a base hit. He took that one where they weren't playing him, as they gave him that big hole. Nick Markakis, the Orioles getting out of the 10-game losing streak on Sunday. It came in the 11th inning. Compliments of Markakis, who picked up the RBI single to bring home Izturis, who had led the inning off with a walk, and the Orioles won it 4-3.
Well, it's nice to get a blown save. You don't run a double out. It could have been a triple. You don't keep the guy from, when they tie the game up, from going to second base. And then you finally get Nick Markakis, your best hitter with runners in scoring position, and a guy that wears out lefties against the lefty, and a chance to win the game. And he delivers. 0 for 14 at the time.
Nick got out of the over with that base hit, so he'll try and move things the other way.
Nice to have all those things happen at home when you have a chance to get a walk-off hit.
You see the numbers, 6 for 20, lifetime against the Yankees starter. Runner at first is Tejada, 1 down. Markakis over the screen, 1-1.
It's a pretty good cut there. I'm sitting here watching that two fastballs that were watching the catcher sit off the plate, and I tell you, he hit the glove with both of them pretty much. And I don't know if Nick's going to have to look to left field. They look like they're planning that way.
They are moved way around to left field in the outfield. Gardner's over near the line. Swisher and Wright is over in the power alley.
And that's the way they should play. Kind of the way you play Jeter, except the opposite way. And the reason, yeah, well, it could be a big strike zone tonight.
Yes, it could be. It could be a quick one.
I mean, this ball not even close to being a strike. It's one of those chalk line strikes. Right over the right-hander batter's box, and that does not make hitters happy.
1-2 count. Tejada not a big lead at first. Markakis will take it up high.
I mean, if you're DJ Rayburn and you're going to call the high one and the 1, 2 to 3 to 4 inches off, you would think that would favor the pitcher.
He's going to have a chance to throw somebody's out before the night's over.
All right, we got a prediction. We're going to get somebody heaved here tonight by the home plate umpire. Markakis, 2-2 count, 1 down. Nick 6 for 20, as you saw off Hughes. And we'll ground that one the other way foul. He had the line there with A-Rod playing off, but not quite. And it stays at 2-2. Yankees come into this ball game with an offense that is up among the leading numbers of the American League. They and the Red Sox and Toronto. The big offensive numbers. Yankees first in average runs and on-base percentage. They are 5th in home runs. Orioles struggling offensively. 13th in average, and they are dead last in the league in runs, still averaging only 3.3 a ball game.
And then when you couple in the fact they're not pitching well, they're giving up the most runs in the American League. That's how you get their record.
Not good.
Yeah.
2-2 count. Markakis got jammed, popped it up first base to Sheriff. Tejada standing in the bag beside him. 2 down.
Yeah, they came up and in that time with him, and after so many pitches away, and were able to get that ball in on the hands there.
That'll bring up Ty Wigginton. Wiggy tied for 5th in the American League, 13 home runs. It has been a while. The last home run was on May 22. He got that against Washington. 13th in on-base percentage, 14th in slugging. Now 2 down with Tejada at first base, and Wigginton will foul that one back.
Well, Hughes has the kind of stuff that he can get away with a fastball in the middle of the plate because of movement and velocity. But that was a pretty good swing, and it was a, you read that as a pitcher, at least I would.
Been a little bit late on that.
But that was not a lot of hittable pitches for Wigginton, but that might have been one of them.
Hughes taking a look over there at first base.
Seems a short on the ball up there a little bit, which could be, I tell you, really tough to hit when you're up there.
Because you don't see it?
Right.
Wigginton gets out to center on the button and right at him. Granderson will haul it in. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. After 1, the Yankees lead it 2-0. against the Red Sox on Sunday. The Orioles are hoping that's going to continue. The Orioles are 12th in the league in total bases. Only Seattle and Cleveland have fewer. And the Orioles are also last in 2 baggers. The extra base hits have been hard to come by. Kevin Millwood looking for a much shorter inning as Cervelli, Gardner, and then Jeter again at the top of the order. Francisco Cervelli against the Orioles this year, 7 for 26. No home runs, couple of RBIs. That one towards first. Millwood to cover, takes the flip. And Cervelli's out of there, 1 down. Want to remind you, the Orioles-Yankees continue their 3-game set tomorrow and Thursday. Both games are 7:05 starts. Good seats remain. We hope you'll get your tickets and get out and see the O's and Yankees. 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com for info. Juan Samuel, the manager, finally with a W under his belt. Doing what he can with what he has at this point really is where he is as a manager.
Yeah, I think what he has to try to do, and he said he's going to watch and he's going to listen and he's going to talk. And all you can do is get him to play as well as they can. And that could be a very relative term.
Yes.
Have to be able to bring some energy to the ballpark every day when you're in there.
I mean, that pretty much, if the cylinders aren't going, that's all you can do.
Yep. Here's Brett Gardner. 0-1 pitch to him, taken down low. The Yankees' second leadoff man, if you will. He is second in the league in runs, tied with Robinson Cano in the American League in runs scored, second best. Tremendous speed. He's got a 6-game hit streak coming into this ball game, and he's batting .311, and he's batting 9th. Shows bunt, and he means it. If you give him a little room, he'll take it.
Well, it's funny. He worked on that all winter long, and you think, a young speedster guy, why didn't somebody tell him in the minor leagues? But he only had one big attempt last year to bunt. So a couple of hundred a day, bunted in spring training. They got him out there because he's a good defensive left fielder. He will tighten up their defense, run prevention.
1-2 delivery to it. This is where he's been particularly tough.
Eddie, did you have anybody, I know as a hitting instructor, did you have a Brett Gardner where, because he really stays within himself. He doesn't try to hit home runs even though he can. He hit one off Millwood the other day.
Grady Sizemore was probably the only guy you would want to maybe bunt a little bit, and he would do it on his own so you didn't have to tell him. But I tell you, it's just some kind of weapon when you can bring that guy in. The ground ball gets by you.
This is going to take a tough play, and not going to get him. And if he had, we'd have had a highlight forever. It'll be an infield hit for Gardner, and only Gardner's great speed avoided the out by Tejada.
That was some play right there.
And even with 2 strikes playing way in, and again, once he has to roll over, again, the speed. Terrific play.
I don't know.
How do you practice that?
I think he stayed on the base here.
Close play.
Well, when you always think of Bucks, we always seem to think of Rod Carew. He was the best. I thought 2 strikes, no strike, whenever he wanted to put it down, where he could just put it down in an area where you didn't really have a play at it.
Well, Brett Gardner leads the majors now with 37 2-strike hits, and that speed is what creates a number of those. And now you got to keep an eye on him because he is a threat to steal. And Millwood will have to make a couple throws over. Rajah Davis still leads the American League with 23. Juan Pierre with the White Sox 22, and then Gardner third in the league with 20.
And a little slide step right there. They don't run that much on Kevin, and we saw the game really slow down in New York. They would eventually hit some home runs, but only 8 attempts, 4 out of 8.
Jeter walked and scored ahead of Swisher on the homer his first time up. Runner at first base, 1 away. Kevin Millwood is redoing here against the Yankees. His last outing came against them.
Hey, look at this. This is one of the amazing numbers coming in. 41 ground balls, fly balls, 131 on the ground. That's just an amazing number. The best in baseball.
And that's why what Eddie was talking about, those hits he gets to right field, I bet more than half, or maybe even 3/4 of them are ground balls.
Oh, absolutely.
Right,
absolutely. But I tell you, as a first baseman down there, he hits the ball fairly hard. And I tell you, are you going to allow him to beat you to the left? He beats you to the left, it could possibly be a 3-bagger, but then he's beating you to the right side.
Jeter goes that way again. They got a chance for 2. Lugo is Torres and a double play. Well, Millwood gets a little help on that one. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left. Yankees up 2-0.
Down in Washington on Masson 2 right now. Strasburg has made it through 2 1/3 innings. He has 6 strikeouts, so 2 2/3 innings now, and he's only given up 1 hit, so he's rolling along. Now, if anybody can relate to the pressure that is on the Nationals' first-round draft pick from last year, it is Matt Wieters. He told me a year ago when he was making his major league debut, he came in with this grand vision of having an amazing debut where he was going to hit home runs out of the park. He said, I'm sure right now Steven is thinking he's going to throw a no-hitter and strike out 20. And he said, hey, if I could give him advice, I would say, let him have that moment, but just realize after that first game, after that debut, you got to let those grand visions go and realize it is going to be a process, a learning process. So starting from that second game on, a little more realistic. But hey, 5 strikeouts. He could be on a roll here. 6 strikeouts, in fact. He could be on a roll, Gary.
Oh, he is. I mean, just the fact he's got those puts him on a roll. About 180 press credentials were issued for the ball game today in Washington, and tickets were very hard to come by. Here's Luke Scott. He'll take the ball to center, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Orioles get their second hit. Luke now 7 for 11 lifetime off Phillip Hughes.
I don't think Strasburg is all geared up for that game today. I tell you, he's touched 100 on the gun. He's got a curveball that's falling off the table and a slider. I think he needs a little more work.
And of course, he's doing it against Pittsburgh, which has the worst batting average, worst home runs, the worst on-base percentage, and they're going to say, well, it's only the Pirates. Who cares?
He's got special stuff.
That's right. It's in the big leagues. You get your feet on the ground.
The last number 1 pick to start and win his major league debut was Chris Benson. The last number 1 to start and win his first pick. The number 1 overall pick to win his major league debut, the last one was Matt Anderson to get it.
He threw about, 101 miles per hour?
Yep. Jones fouls it away. In the Expos Nationals history, the last first-round pick to start and win his debut was Gabe White in 1994.
Well, the one thing about Strasburg, he does a lot of things well. I mean, great windup, really drives. Eddie, you and I were talking about loading.
Windups,
yeah, for a big kid, you don't find that many big kids who can do that.
Adam Jones takes that to left field. Brett Gardner is there. He's got it. Scott was halfway. He will go back to first base, and there's one away. And we remind you tonight's Maryland Lottery Hit It Here fan of the game, William O'Connor from Owens Mills. If an Orioles player hits the Hit It Here sign located in the bullpen, William O'Connor, you're going to be $100,000 richer. Find out more about how to become the fan of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/hitithere. That is the Hit It Here sign.
I could have done that. Could have thrown one that far.
Well, you got to join Flanny because he said the same thing.
No, his one in the fourth deck down the line in Toronto.
Eddie could have done it.
Yeah, well, yeah. He did. Not only could have, he did.
Yeah. Matt Wieters up with a runner at first base and 1 out.
A pretty nice play by Gardner. We talked about his defense. That was one of those on the end of the bat, pretty good breaking ball. And if you don't get a good read, that ball falls in.
Matt trying to get it going at a day off Sunday. He just wants to pick things up now and try and get on an upward trend. Hitting .236. 4 home runs, 16 RBIs for Wieters. Speed delivery is in there for a strike. You got to be swinging. Even he's looking back.
Well, he knows how big the strike zone is.
Yes,
he has caught some of those pitches. Not only was that ball, and he might have been a little off the plate, but it was a pretty good curveball. Talk about a snapdragon.
Matt's only had 1 hit in the month of June, 1 for 14. At first base, Scott, short lead held by Teixeira. He'll foul that one the other way. 2-strike count on Wieters.
Well, it's not often you get to broadcast with one of the 4 guys with over 500 home runs and 3,000 hits. But Eddie, when a guy has a good curveball, whether it's Blyleven or it's Phillip Hughes, can you see it out of his hand?
Well, you start to look for it. I mean, Blyleven had a 92-mile-an-hour fastball also, but you just had to, all right, he's got me ready to say, Uncle, I better look for the curveball.
Wieters has not had a hit off him. He's gone 0 for 7, and the only chances off Phillip Hughes. He's thrown only 22 pitches. The Orioles would love to get him into a deep pitch count if they can early in the ballgame and get him out of there. Opponents hitting .203 off him. That is the second best number in the American League. 0-2. Wieters again the other way.
Well, I guess the point I'd like to make is that, again, when you look at the young Oriole pitching staff, I mean, this is a kid, again, only 23, that, rushed through the minor leagues. And between he and Ian Kennedy 2 years ago, they couldn't win a game. They were 0-8.
I tell you, I'm watching him right now. And I tell you, you're watching, he's got the ball down. He's got the ball up. And, I'm talking about if you're swinging at him, these are good pitches. You're close enough to the strike zone where you're forcing that hitter to try to do something with that pitch, especially with the umpire tonight.
0-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to miss outside. You better believe both Millwood and Hughes are going to test this strike zone early in the ball game, try and figure out just how high, wide they can go and still get it a called strike. Hughes 1-2. Shift on Wieters, plays him to hit the other way in the outfield. They're playing him the same way they played Marquez, as they've got Swisher, the right fielder, playing in the power alley.
Yeah, they're playing pretty shallow, though. You can see Gardner down the left field line. He can drive the ball to left field. That's where his power is at this point in his career.
Well, that's that Wigginton style. Tejada style of hitting. If you look to see where they're playing, you pretty much know how they're trying to pitch you. But then they're going to sneak that one in there sometime or another. And there
he is, trying to get it in. Couldn't. Swisher a long way to go. Scott trips. That's one you almost got to get to third base on. The Orioles rarely go first to third, and Scott had trouble with his footing as he went to second base.
Well, let's just pray he doesn't blow out a hamstring or anything or tweak anything.
Yeah, that slows him down right there. He had to skip rope. Yeah, right there. No dancing with the stars for Luke.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to get him off the show.
So 2 on and 1 down. Lou Montanez getting the start in left field in this ball game. 2 on, 1 out. Orioles trail 2-0. Montanez, first ball hit him, and that will end up back in the seats. Lou has gone 0 for 11 against the Yankees this season. Not had a lot of playing time of late. He's kind of the disappearing Oriole, in fact. Montanez has watched a lot of games. It's only the 23rd game he's appeared in, and he's only had 50 at-bats.
I think that's always the question, and we talked about it when he came up, is can you be that young and not be a veteran and hit coming off the bench when you don't get a lot of reps?
He's only had 2 at-bats in the month of June.
Definitely the toughest job in the game, coming off the bench hitting. You know, everybody expecting you to hit.
1 ball, 1 strike count.
And then you get Phillip Hughes, who's, what, righties are only hitting 203. You have yet to hit a home run off it.
Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Fastball up high, used as the 360 after he throws the pitch. And the count will go to 2-1. Hughes has the 1-0 record this year and a 3-2 mark lifetime against the Orioles. He's done exceedingly well on the road. 3-1 road record and a 2.2 road earned run average. 3rd best road ERA in the American League. 2-1 delivery. Montanez had a reach. And if the strike zone stays as it appears to be, we may say that a number of times about hitters tonight.
Well, especially with 2 strikes. I mean, Eddie can tell you better than I. You know, I always thought if they're going to call a ball off the corner, I'm going to throw it there. And Eddie, you know, obviously, if the strike zone's wider than that 17 to 21 inches, you got to act.
You got to offer at it. You really do.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Runners off first and second. Montanez got one to short. Jeter's got it. Cano 1. Relay to first.
Oh, that goes
2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Millwood back to work. 2-0 Yankees. Grab your bag, it's on. And buy Priority Mail flat rate boxes, only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship. Just a gorgeous night here in Baltimore, the Inner Harbor. Great night to be at a baseball game or walking around the Inner Harbor. Thanks for joining us. Jim Prowlin, Eddie Murray, and Theo Harris, I'm Gary Thorne. Yankees have a 2-0 lead on a Swisher. First inning home run. And here he is.
Yeah, leadoff walk, and then first pitch, deep center.
His 2nd home run against the Orioles this year. He now has 9 RBIs against the O's. And this the 10th game these teams have played. Swisher hitting .390 now against Oriole pitching on the season.
Well, look at those numbers. He lost 15 pounds. He was always kind of annoying in the sense if you're a pitcher because he gets on base, he can hit for power, he can play all over the place, he can pick it at first. He is a switch hitter. You know, he strikes out a lot, but he scores a lot of runs. And I think he understands how to play the game. Perfect guy on a winning ball club.
And he's found a home in right field at Yankee Stadium.
Well, you know, I asked him, Gary, about, do you take a lot of balls off the bat? He said, well, you got to. You got to do it every day. He said, because like if we go to Citi Field where the Mets play, he said the wind currents are different, the way the walls shape. And if you don't do that, you're going to misplay ball. I mean, it's part of your daily routine. At least it is for a winning team.
Yeah. He'll foul that one off back into the seats. 2-ball, 2-strike count and Swish.
We held everybody pretty much accountable for, going out there doing your work before the game. You just had to go over and you check out what a tarp is. It's tough having guys lost due to the fact that he ran into the wall because he didn't know where it was, or the tarp.
And they're going to make a throw here. And Readers will do that. So Swisher, a strikeout victim, the second for Millwood in the ballgame. Draft days, of course, are here. Manny Machado, the shortstop, was number 3 overall, the first pick by the Orioles. Jerry Naren's son picked overall 148th, 5th. Another shortstop, right-handed pitcher, was picked in the 3rd, a right-handed pitcher in the 6th. Machado, 3 overall, the shortstop out of Florida, 17 years old. Kind of a tall, lanky kid who can hit. And at least where he is now. Amazing how many high school ball players continue to be picked.
Well, Lou Mania said he hadn't met him because he really hadn't followed high school baseball. He said, but that is a really good baseball program. I said, what'd you hit in high school? He said, 480. And 10 years ago, he was the number 3 pick in the first round.
Was Machado hitting 620?
Pardon? Well, he said 629 or 39.
Yeah.
He said, that's an amazing number. I said, what'd you hit? He said, 480. He said, that's not like it's bad baseball. They play good baseball down in South Miami. So it's kind of, you wish him well.
Here's Mark Teixeira, broken back bloop. Look at that play. He beat it out. Can we call it an infield hit? It wasn't in the infield. It's a base hit.
After you punch out 5 times on Saturday, you can call it anything you want.
That Mark Teixeira. The only thing would have been better for him on this one is if he'd have had an RBI attached to it.
Lugo playing in with that shift, and he beat it by a lot. So Teixeira gets the single. He's 2 for 2. Getting out of his 0 for 12 against Millwood. That's a 1-out single. Yankees with 5 hits. Here's A-Rod. He hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. Rodriguez at 293. And we'll take it inside. A-Rod against the Orioles this year. Has not hit very well. He's had only 7 hits and 35 at-bats. That's a 200 average. But he does have 1 home run, and he does have 6 RBIs against the Orioles. 7-game hit streak coming into tonight's play for the Yankee third baseman. We'll take the breaking ball away.
It seems to me that's the pitch that Kevin Millwood over the last 3 to 4 starts has been struggling with, just not being able to locate that outside corner and pulling it off the corner instead of throwing it to it. And again, I think a lot of it has to do with he feels like he's got to be perfect, and he has been because of the lack of run support, especially when you get a guy 591 lifetime home runs. That's a pretty good pitch right there.
It's that same pitch that catches the corner this time, and the count will go to 2 balls and 1 strike on A-Rod.
Well, you say something to the umpire on that pitch because you don't want it to be called with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty good pitch right there. You don't want anything to do with that 2-0.
And a strike fastball, and A-Rod's having another conversation. We're getting closer, Eddie, to your prediction of someone getting tossed.
I don't think the umpire is listening.
He never moved, did he?
And you can see it's not by much.
Where is that? Where is that? Come on.
Come on now.
Got him, and he doesn't like that one either. A-Rod's right in his face. Right out in a hurry.
Well, this is a huge inconsistent strike zone, so you know people are going to complain about. The only guy's not going to complain about this one is Kevin Millwood. And again, not by much, but enough. I mean, that's pretty much what, if you're a hitter, Eddie, don't you pride yourself knowing the strike zone?
You have to swing at that. That's too close right there. That's really, one of those things. He's calling, he better start swinging.
3 strikeouts for Millwood. Here's Robinson Cano, who delivered a single his first time up. Cano's got a runner at first base, Mark Teixeira. Cano trying to get 2-out base hit. Millwood will just step off this time and take a look. Well, Cano is tied for the major league lead in hits, second in multi-hit games, and batting average at .363.
Well, they're still talking about the fact they had first base open up in Toronto, and they pitched to Cano with Posada on deck, and he got the game winner.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No.
Especially with Posada just really getting back off the
It's not that he can't hit. We all know he's a terrific hitter. I just don't see how you ever could pitch to Cano. I mean, 3 years ago, I found that out when he ruined the no-hitter that Daniel Cabrera had with a single. I mean, 97 miles per hour down the road. Singled into left field. Almost won a batting title.
Cano's after a batting title this year. And the tremendous start that he's had. Obviously, the further you go with that good average, the harder it is to take the average down because you can have some at-bats where you don't get hits and not lose a lot of points. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Teixeira just barely off first base. Cano's going to get another one. Well, he's 2 for 2 in the ball game. Teixeira stops at second base, 2 on, 2 down.
Well, he was only 34 for 85, 400. Nicely even 400 in the month of April. That's a pretty good way to start the season.
Now Jorge Posada, the DH, and a strikeout victim, his first time up.
Well, hitting 360, you're hitting it every month.
Every game.
Yeah. It really doesn't matter. He's kind of like Ichiro. It doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed. You could throw it up there with both hands and he'd hit a line drive somewhere.
Well, Posada will get an RBI chance with runners on at first and second. 2-0 Yankee lead. 6 hits so far off Millwood. And Posada will take that pitch for a strike. For Posada, he's got 14 runs batted in on the year. It's only his 32nd game. Hitting .308 right-handed, .294 left. He's had 3 home runs from each side of the plate. Fractured foot took him out of the lineup. Back now in the DH role.
Yeah, he wanted to call that a strike, but I think
A-Rod?
Yeah, he thought of Mr. Rodriguez. They'll look at Kevin Long with the blue. That's the hitting instructor for the Yankees.
That's it. You're being the doctor now. You're agreeing with him. You got to keep him in the game. You got to keep him in a good frame of mind.
Well, what did Kevin Long tell us? He said that the 1-1 pitch, that's the key. If it goes to 2-1, we have the pitcher. If it goes to 1-2, they got us. And Millwood missed with the 1-1 pitch. It's in a hitter's count.
That general rule applies to both of these pitchers in this ball game, and Jorge Posada will ask for the timeout. For Millwood, first 25 pitches, 194 off him. The next 25, 260. And between 50 and 75 pitches, it jumps up to 361. Those are the numbers from this season for the Orioles starter. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Posada will take the off-speed breaking ball. It's blocked, but it's 3-1.
And it's hard, whether you're hitting, and Eddie knows this as well as anybody with really relaxed fingers, but when you're throwing the baseball, you've got to have really light grip pressure. And when you don't get any runs, you look at the scoreboard, you look who's up, you look at runners out on the base, and that grip pressure gets a little bit firmer. The ball
Same thing happens to hitters.
Yeah, it does.
Bat slows up when you're gripping that bat tight. It must be in that loose position, and you trust your hands to automatically tighten up once you start that swing.
3 ball, 1 strike count. Yankees trying to get a 2-out rally going. They have the 2-0 lead here in the 3rd inning. 3-1 delivery, and Jorge Posada's on. Second walk given up by Millwood, and that's going to load him up for Granderson. So this has been a struggle first 3 innings for Millwood, even though he faced only 3 batters in the second. He got a double play, but the Yankees they have him up to 60 pitches thrown.
Yeah, I think you probably picked your poison. But the one thing, I read all this stuff about Granderson can't hit lefties, but he can't hit righties. .291 lifetime batting average against right-handed pitching.
Granderson with a big cut on the off-speed delivery for strike 1. This is a very important moment early in the ball game. With the bases loaded, 2 down. Millwood a chance to get out of it with no damage. Granderson a chance to put up a big hit. Curtis Granderson 1 for 4 with the bases loaded. A couple of RBIs this season. Lifetime, the 1 grand slam home run. Teixeira, Cano, and Jorge Posada, the base runners. 1-1. Thought about it. Did he go? Check at third. No. Greg Gibson.
And maybe a couple of extra miles per hour trying to elevate the fastball. And Now all of a sudden you want a fastball count to a fastball hitter.
Granderson is 8 for 36 with a home run, lifetime off Millwood. 2-1 delivery, 2-2.
That's one he wishes he had back right there. I tell you, that was right down the middle. Didn't break much.
Maybe a little cutter or slider, yes, or something.
Kevin Millwood, a lot of gray jerseys on the base paths behind him. 2-2 with 2 down. And Granderson hits it deep to right field, way back, and goodbye home run. A grand slam homer for Curtis Granderson with 2 down on a 2-2 count.
Another slider.
We'll take a look pitch by pitch. And again, trying to get him out. Change up first pitch. Misses with a fastball. Misses with another one. Here's that hanging slider you talked about, Eddie. And then here's the one that really does him in.
It is only his 4th home run of the year. 2 of them have come against the Orioles. A grand slam and a 6-0 lead. Line drive, short hopped at second off the bat of Cervelli. Lugo makes the play, but it was the one pitch before that. Granderson, the grand slam, and the Yankees extend their lead. Yokohama, technology drives better tires. And Granderson drives the baseball. Curtis Granderson now against the Orioles on the season. He's hitting .325, 2 home runs, and 8 RBIs against the Orioles. So the O's, a long road to hoe now. Philip Hughes, here he goes again. He's getting used to getting all these 7 or 8 runs a ball game. Well, Kevin Millwood gets 2.
Yeah, the most in the American League at 8.2, and they're on that way.
Asturias getting his first at bat. 1 for 4 off Hughes. 225 on the year now for the Oriole shortstop. And the 1-0 will be taken for a strike. 1-1.
Eddie, you had Cesar out in Los Angeles, didn't you?
Oh yeah, he's a pesky little guy at times. I mean, sometimes you want him to hit the ball on the ground or try and hit line drives a little more than he does. He gets the ball up in the air a little too much, and then I've always said, if you can catch the ball as well as you can catch it, you should be a good hitter. And you start looking at me, and you say it to him again the next day. You try and make it sink in. He's got unbelievable hands defensively, and I just think he could play a little bit better on the offensive end.
1-2 delivery to him will be taken outside. It's Torres, Lugo, and Tejada coming up against Philip Hughes. The Yankees have put up the numbers against the Orioles offensively. That one to right field. Swisher almost in place. And there's Orioles one away. Time for our AT&T Mobility Trivia question. And here it is. This date, 79, Kansas City Royals drafted which two future Hall of Fame quarterbacks? The Royals drafted two future Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Well, I know the Yankees drafted Elway, but the Royals could have done it too, even though, because he ended up going to Stanford, right? So they could have done it out of high school.
Elway?
I mean, I don't know. I just know that he was a third baseman, and then
who else?
Hall of Fame quarterback. Montana.
In the air to center. Lugo. Granderson is there. I don't even have another guess.
Eddie, you can help.
That's a very tough one.
Dan Marino. And John Elway.
Oh, yeah, I should have known Marino because he wrote on a football, I could have hit your fastball. And I said, Dan, if you were playing baseball, I'd still be pitching. So, well, we were at least paid. We were hitting 500.
A couple of drafts who have football Hall of Fame. Wow. Athletes. Draft the best athlete. I hope you can sign them. Here's Tejada, 2 down, nobody on. Tejada had a single his first time up. And he will take the pitch down low for a ball.
I wonder what position Marino played. I know Elway was the third baseman.
This body, that body type just doesn't hit me as a...
What are you trying to say, Eddie? Well, you would have been a corner guy, wouldn't you think?
Pitcher.
Yeah. Oh, he drafted as a pitcher. Really?
Yeah.
Wonder why.
Okay.
No idea. Well, because all good athletes pitch when they're kids.
Another short arm,
right?
Like Phillip Hughes. Hides the ball well.
Fouls that away. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Tejada.
I saw Miguel in batting practice trying to get that front foot a little bit more closed. Because it worked the first time. Singled into right field.
As we said, he's struggling at the plate a bit of late. 3 hits, 12 at-bats, lifetime off Hughes. Teixeira. They get no help. And didn't need it. He made the catch outside the dugout. That counts. You can't go in the dugout anymore and make the catch. But if your feet are outside it and you lean in, that's an out.
Out of Miami, he was highly touted, and he had some advice for the young Machado.
You're a high draft pick, so they're going to expect a lot of you, and you're going to get a lot of good, media from you being the top prospect. But the reality hits you that first day you hit the field, and you know that all the other guys are at a high level. They're playing really high, and that you're playing against older competition. So he's going to get tested really early on.
And Lou also pointed out that growing up in Miami, he was always the best in the region. There were never any big leaguers around to tell him how difficult it is and how hard it is to not only make the big leagues, but stay up here. So that's a reality a lot of these first-round draft picks are going to have to face. Gary?
and do. Some well, some not so well. A lot of great names that were drafted in the first round ended up not doing much. 1-1 delivery to Brett Gardner. We were just looking at, I'm kind of amazed that the most career wins by a pitcher selected #1 overall, Mike Moore, with 161 wins. That's not many. No. That's not many for a #1 drafted pitcher, and that's the all-time leader. Gardner takes it. Then Andy Bennis, Tim Belcher, Floyd Bannister, and Ben McDonald, who went 78 and 70. These are the most wins by a pitcher who is selected #1 in the MLB draft. You would just think that there'd be some big numbers there, and there really aren't. Inside corner strike, and Brett Gardner's retired.
Yeah, you don't want to throw a strike tonight. That was the mistake at Granderson. Now this ball is a legitimate strike. We have seen Kevin Millwood all year long run that two-seamer. A little Greg Maddux would run back and catch the inside part of the plate. Pretty good movement right there. He has not had real good fastball command tonight. That's gotten him into trouble.
4 strikeouts for him in the game. 16 home runs have now been hit off Kevin Millwood, more than any other American League pitcher. Swisher, Granderson with a grand slam.
Well, he wishes he would have even walked Granderson instead of making that pitch. Just a slider that came right back to the middle of the plate, and it was back-to-back sliders that Eddie talked about.
Right. And I tell you, he's one of those hitters. I definitely think the changeup is the better pitch. It is the most difficult pitch, I think, for hitters, and definitely Granderson. The curveballs, the sliders, they change planes and let you identify them. But that changeup is a very tough pitch to see.
Derek Jeter's walked and scored, has also hit into a double play. He's now 9 for 32 lifetime off Millwood. Jeter just below the 300 mark this year average, and he chases one up high. So Millwood gets another one. 2 Ks in the inning, 5 in the game. Nationals. With Strasburg making his major league debut. The home run. Delwyn Young got the home run. Pirates have the lead over Washington. Only 4 hits, 7 strikeouts in the game.
Yeah, what you wonder, he's still throwing a lot of strikes. That's the impressive thing for a youngster.
That ball game's on Masson 2.
Plus we, in the back of our booth, saw one pitch and hit 100. 1-0-0.
1-0-0.
That's a pretty good curveball.
Yeah, big bender. Here's Nick Swisher, big blow, home run, number 17, came in the first inning. 2 RBI homer, bringing in Jeter, who had walked ahead of him.
Delwyn Young hit that home run. There's a pretty good chance it was a fastball. He struck out earlier, I think, on the breaking ball, one-handed. He's a gas man.
He's a gas man. We got all of one. 2-0 count. Millwood trying to get a 1-2-3 inning here. He has not had one, although he faced only 3 with a double play in the second inning. 2-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike. Swisher just kind of froze, waiting to see wonder what that's going to be.
Well, just think if you're really around the plate. Millwood struggled with his command. He's still been able to take advantage of it. He just didn't have this in the first 3 innings. That's late life. The ball finishing well, a lot of depth to that sinker.
That's almost unhittable. It'd break your bat if you did hit it. That pitch was a really good pitch here.
Swisher had only 1 hit in his last 14 coming in, but he got the home run his first at bat tonight.
There are a lot of scouts here.
Swing.
Yeah, you were talking about it. Everybody going to the press room and there, because Kevin Millwood has some value. But I'm sure the scouts are saying, wait, this is a different guy than we saw the first 3 innings.
Jim, back in our day, that last movement on the other pitch, I would have thought it might have been a little wet, but we know they don't throw that pitch today.
2-2, and the off-speed breaking ball gets him. The 6th strikeout as Millwood strikes the side out in the 4th. He started it out with Brett Gardner on a call. He got Jeter on a swing, and he gets Swisher on the breaking ball. Returning to Oriole Park on Friday. We'll tell you about that in a minute. I want you to look at this date in history. 1965 on June 8th, Greg Mundy became the first pick in the MLB draft ever for the Kansas City A's. Nolan Ryan, 77, struck out 19. And in 86, the Orioles beat the Yankees 18-9 in what would be the longest game in the American League for a 9-inning ball game. 4 hours and 16 minutes it took. And here they are playing again on this June 8th.
There must have been a lot of home runs in that game.
I think maybe a lot of pitches.
Yeah.
Man. Here's Nick Markakis. Markakis popped out his first time up. Also in this date, 1874, Cochise died.
Really?
Chief. Right after he finally had been able to broker a settlement for the Apache tribes. That one's going to be a base hit into right field. Well, they had him played in the right place, but not shallow enough. Swisher gets it in, and Markakis has got a leadoff single. We're telling you about the promotion coming up here on Friday. The first 25,000 fans 21 and over will get the reversible Orioles floppy hat presented by Miller Lite. Don't miss out on the fun. The Mets are going to be in town. 7:05 game. Get your tickets in advance and save 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Floppy hat night. Here in Baltimore, it is going to be this week. New York, New York. Orioles getting their fourth hit. Wigginton flied out his first time up and will foul that one away. Orioles with a uphill struggle now with a 6-0 lead for the Yankees. Swisher, a 2 RBI homer, and Curtis Granderson, the grand slam.
Well, 2 starts, about 12 and 2/3 innings, and only 2 runs against Hughes. What you need is to have him do what he did early on the 27th of April, where he walked 4. He only got 1 run, a couple of hits, but he left the game early. You don't want to get to the back end of this bullpen. You want to, try the 6th and 7th innings and take your chances.
Get in the middle. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. That's to right field. Swisher coming will not have a play. Markakis will stop at second base, and the Orioles get 2 on with nobody out.
He was playing really, really deep. And Ty Wigginton says, thank you very much. He might not play Lou Gehrig this deep. He definitely won't get one over his head unless it's a home run or maybe a double off the wall.
You're right. He got a good jump on that ball. It's just that he was deep. And that ball still fell in front.
Luke Scott, the designated hitter. Luke delivered a single in his first at bat. The Orioles now with 5 hits in the ball game, all singles. Scott 7 for 11 off Phil Hughes, and the inside corner strike taken.
Eddie, is there a key to hitting with runners in scoring position?
Well, to me, yes. I think there's a definite way that they pitch you when guys are out there. That's how you find out how a team is trying to get you out. And everybody gets so stuck on, the base is empty and the guy, well, he got me out with an inside fastball. Well, okay, that still might not be the way that they intend to pitch you. You can't show your hand too fast. And I think, once you get guys out there, or just early in the count, you just look a certain way depending on what he has working that night.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Luke has had, with runners in scoring position, a real struggle at 143. It is the spot where the Orioles continue to really have a hard time. They're hitting only 128 in June with runners in scoring position. That's the lowest number. And that's going to be inside. Hughes. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, you got to get a big enough inning to make Joe Girardi think about getting his bullpen up, and that's going to take 3 or 4 runs, or 2 to 3 runs with some runners on. So you're going to need some sustained offense. Now with Luke, of course, it can come via the home run ball.
All right. Burn some bullets up out there in that pen.
2 ball, 1 strike count on Scott. 7 of his 10 home runs right here at Camden Yards this year. And got him on a nasty nasty one that came inside the swing, and the count goes to 2-2.
Well, they put fastball down, but that's the cutter he worked on in spring training. That and a changeup. Haven't seen the changeup tonight.
This almost hits him.
Yeah. Well, again, so it's a fastball count, and the cutter, you don't pick the spin up, and it just keeps coming at you.
Yankees believe he benefited tremendously from being a relief pitcher first and sitting in the bullpen with Mariano Rivera, who showed him how to throw the cutter. If you're going to have somebody show you the cutter, it might as well be Mariano Rivera. 2-2 delivery. Nobody down here. It is now. First strikeout for Hughes. Scott, one away.
The Space Invader.
Not only did he go up, but he goes in. Cervelli slides in, and look at this. And again, this is what he couldn't do 2 years ago. But he became a different Penny. I mean, you make a great point. I mean, he was lights out last year, the second half. There wasn't a better reliever to get to your closer in baseball other than Philip Hughes.
Now Adam Jones with 2 on and 1 away. Jones flied out to left field his first time up. 4 for 15 with a home run off Hughes. Jones hitting .246. Another one of those numbers the Orioles just have to get improvement on to win. Jonesy's hitting only .171 with runners in scoring position. The drop by the key RBI players for the Orioles in those numbers is just unbelievable from last year to this year.
I mean, Adam had over 300 last year with runners in scoring position.
1-0 pitch fouled away.
But he's young, and I don't mean it's young. This is part of the process of playing the game.
They still have a lot of season left, and they just got to believe. And it's the hardest thing to get this kid to get off of yesterday. You know, you just got to see this as we have July, August, and September still left here in the season. And, you know, if you just learn to relax a little bit, those numbers will be there. I mean, I had quite a few bad Aprils. And I mean, it's hard to do when you're in it, but it's just the way you have to think. You got to believe in yourself.
And they have really, Eddie, worked him away. They did that beginning. They did that last year. They did it at the beginning of the season. He started laying off those pitches. Now they're back at it again. Those sliders and cutters away. He's still struggling with that.
And what happens is, and the hitters that make you throw strikes, Gary, as you know, I mean, most guys don't want to pitch in the strike zone. So when you swing at balls, that's usually what you get. You may get enough to get into that pitcher's count, and then they're just not going to throw you a strike. Tejada, especially with Adam Jones. I mean, it's really hard to hit with 2 strikes. The league average last year was 186 because you have to cover up and in and down and away and slow and hard and fast and cutters and splitters. You don't want to hit with 2 strikes.
1-2 delivery on the way, and he came in a little bit. Got his arms in. Granderson will put it away. Markakis will tag, but he's not going anywhere. And there are now 2 down.
Well, you have seen Philip Hughes do what not too many 23-year-old kids can do. He struck out Scott exactly where Cervelli went. Right here, he gets 2 strikes, and then he gets in on the fist of Adam Jones. Made the perfect pitch with his fastball.
And I tell you, everybody at one time or another has struggled somehow with men in scoring position. And a few years back when I was hitting this truck during Cleveland, A-Rod came to me and asked me, I can't drive in the run. I can't drive in the run. What am I doing wrong? I looked at him. I told him, I don't know. I don't watch you. So first night we play him, I see what we did to him. We did not throw him a strike all night, and there were guys all over the base. So when he left town, I then told him, I says, we don't have to throw you a strike. I said, you must get a good pitch to hit. I said, it's as simple as Little League. First thing you tell a kid, come on, Bobby, get a good pitch to hit. It's the same thing that counts. You know, occurs right there.
Apparently he's getting some good pitches to hit now. He's driving in runs.
Oh, he got hot then.
Yeah. Here's Matt Wieters. Wieters with a single. Matt's got runners at first and second, but now there are 2 down. The Orioles got the first 2 on. Markakis and Wigginton with base hits. And they are still out there.
Well, Matt had a real nice at bat. I mean, he jumped all over a high fastball. One of the few guys that got on top of one of Hughes' fastballs tonight. There's a changeup. And he rifled it into right field. He doesn't do that very often.
That won't change the D. They still plan to go to left where he does most of the time and give him that center field area. 2-ball, 1 strike count. Orioles down 6-0, trying to get a run on the board against Hughes. And right off the fist, he came back in 2-2.
And then, of course, the other part of the problem is this kid's got great velocity and movement and location tonight. So it's just not automatic. You almost think, we got to dump one in here, keep it going, make people think they can hit him.
Hughes here at Camden Yards has not won a game. He's 0-2 in 3 starts, 4 appearances. ERA here is 9 in this ballpark. 2-2 delivery will get away. Not far enough to move, though. Cervelli played that one on the hop. And it's 3-2. So the runners will go. Markakis at second. Wigginton at first with 2 down. And a 3-ball, 2-strike count on Matt Wieters. Runners off and the 3-2 delivery. Wieters will get to do it again. Philip Hughes has a pretty good rhythm going when nobody's on, but when the runners are on, he really cranks it down. 3-2 again, and a nice base hit to center field. Granderson up. One will score. Markakis crosses. It is a 6-1 ball game, and Wieters a solid base hit to center.
Yeah, I think this pitch is just down, and that's that lefty's favorite pitch. Well, he would like it probably a little more in, but it's down there in that swing path for him.
And that's going to get Mike Harkey. Making Dave Island, who's away for personal reasons. So Mike will come out to talk to Philip Hughes.
So Wieters gets RBI number 17. And the Orioles get on the board. That was just a nice, smooth swing. He didn't try and do too much with that pitch. And that's what Matt Wieters has been working on in batting practice. Just take the ball up the middle, some solid hits. And he did it that time. Now the Orioles will try and keep it going. One of the few 2-out RBIs the Orioles have had this year. The team averages only 203 with runners in scoring position and 2 down. Montanez hit into a double play his first time up. Sweeping breaking ball is ball 1.
Hit the ball sharply, but right to Jeter for a double play. Philip Hughes looked in because that curveball that wasn't called a strike was a strike earlier in the game.
Montanez.
And so was that one.
That's down there at the knee level. That misses.
Already. This is what you want if you're the Orioles.
Cervelli's talking to him without turning his head.
Okay, he looks really comfortable up there at home plate. So somebody that hasn't been doing getting a lot of at-bats.
2-0 delivery. Looking fastball, got one.
Okay.
You like that swing, Eddie?
Well, I've always said the best swing was 75 to 85%. I think he went about 98 on that one. Just slightly over swinging, and like you said, it ends up getting by you more so than you're being on it.
Looking for his first hit against the Yankees this year. That went into the Bermuda Triangle, and there it is. A run will score. Wigginton crosses. Montanez gets the RBI. Wieters goes to third, and it's a 6-2 ball game.
Well, this will help the numbers here a little bit, but hopefully, it'll help with some of the confidence here.
Yeah, good pitch, bad result, unless you're Lou Munoz. RBI keeps the inning going. 4 hits here. Granderson overruns it, but wouldn't have mattered anyway. There's Wiggy to make it 6-2.
Only his 3rd RBI of the year, and this coming with 2 down.
Well, you're a double away from getting the bullpen up.
Well, they're doing a little first or third here. Let's see this a few more times. 7
hits, all singles. His Sturz flight out to right his first time up, down to first base. That is a foul. So Markakis and Wigginton kicked it off with singles. Scott struck out, Jones flied up, and then with 2 away, Wieters and Montanez have added the RBI base hits. And the Orioles have cut the Yankee lead to 4. Outfield moves in on his Turris. Strike taken at the knees.
There's that pitch.
Well, you know, the plate is, what, 17 inches. The diameter of the ball, another 2¼ inches. So you could get it to about 21 inches. Tonight, it has been about 23 to 24 on occasion.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Is Turris looking for another big 2-out hitter for the Orioles to keep this inning alive. Orioles getting a comeback win on Sunday. 11 of their 16 wins this year have been comeback wins. 11 out of 16. Here's the 1-2 delivery and swung on and missed. So Hughes will get the strikeout. The Orioles get a couple on Wieters and Montanez RBIs. Yankees up by 4. Ford, your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. Orioles and Yankees opening up a 3-game stand, and then the Mets are going to be in town. Yankees jumped out early here, getting 2 in the first, 4 more in the third. Granderson a grand slam, Swisher a 2 RBI homer. Here's Mark Teixeira. Good story in the New York Times today about Teixeira talking about the blessing and the curse of being a switch hitter. He said the curse is when I'm in a slump, it's harder for me to get out of it because I got to work on 2 different swings. And he said, I have 2 pronounced different swings. I stand up taller in the batter's box when I hit right-handed. My swing is more level. I pull up on the ball when I hit left-handed. And I'm not hitting very well either way right now. And that's true. So he's trying to make some adjustments both ways.
I think
you hear it?
I feel for him.
Yeah.
There's been times where I went up there and I said, maybe I should just stand up here and let the ball hit me just right behind the plate. You didn't want to get on either side. I mean, it's nothing worse than struggling at the same time on both sides.
Did you have 2 different swings, Eddie?
I might have been up a little more upright right-handed. Swing-wise, the intent was there to hit the ball hard, which meant was a line drive swing. You know, that was in my head, was to hit that ball hard. I didn't want to really pull up on it.
Teixeira really has an uppercut.
Especially from this side of the plate. It really drops the backside and the front shoulder gets up.
And he has a little tapping something that works with him, too. That's, all of that gets thrown out of whack just a little bit. And it can, that's where
the front foot?
Yes.
2-2 delivery to him. Teixeira fouls it.
Well, that comes from, he was down in, of course, started down in Texas. And Rudy Jaramillo always has looks like the little toe tap that Texas two-step when he was a hitting instructor down there for 15 years.
You would not expect to see Mark Teixeira in that category. The lowest averages. Seattle
didn't expect to see Figgins there. He's hit 9th last night.
2-2 delivery on the way. Teixeira will take the pitch up high.
I said that was a move when Figgins went to Seattle, that Angels were really going to miss that guy. I mean, he just does so much for that ball club, and I didn't think Vladdy was really done either. I just think, he ran into a tough year with the body injuries.
And that is the second leadoff walk issued by Millwood. In the first inning, he did it to Jeter, and that ended up being a home run to Swisher following. Right from the start of the game, our home plate umpire, P.J. Rayburn, has had discussions with hitters, catchers, managers, pitchers about where and what is the strike zone. A-Rod kicked it off. A-Rod has hit into a fielder's choice, called out on strikes. 7-game hit streak, runner on at first base. Millwood, after getting a couple of runs from his own ball club, in one of those innings where you want to come out now and shut him down, keep it where it is. A-Rod with 6 home runs in his last 27 ball games. He'd had only 2 in the first 28 games of the year. Teixeira's on at first base, nobody out. Two strikes.
Well, what do you say on the field, Eddie, when you were talking and we were talking to him today? So I just want to kind of keep treading water until I have one of those Eddie Murray months, I think. Is that what he said it was?
One of those streaks where he can finally get that, where everything you hit starts to fall. Right now, he's doing, it's pretty respectable what he's doing out there. I mean, they're not the typical A-Rod numbers, but, this guy can get hot, and I mean, he can do some things.
Tejada one. Good takeout slide at second by Teixeira. Results in the fielder's choice for Rodriguez. One down.
Yeah, pretty good pitch right here. Another cutter, and then right here, Miguel's got to know he's only going to have one opportunity. And if you're Lugo, get out of harm's way right here. I mean, there's no way to turn a double play. Teixeira doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Come in there hard just to make sure.
Got in there and broke it up. Here's Robinson Cano, 2 for 2 in the ball game.
Again?
2 singles.
Not again.
Again. He's just unstoppable. As far as Oriole pitchers are concerned, 11 for 25 this year with a home run. Cano loves hitting in this ballpark. One down, and the pitch gets away. Leaders can't find it, and Rodriguez will get down to second base. Wild pitch. Millwood, that's the 3rd of the year.
This just may be a good opportunity to put him on first. Why even pitch to this guy? He is, like you said, he's one of the top hitters in the league, and he is definitely swinging the bat at this particular time.
I think, if this was last year, he only hit 207. Well over 300, but 207 runners in scoring position. This year, totally different. 355. I mean, just amazing numbers.
They're the multi-hit leaders with Ichiro on top, followed by Cano very closely, as he's got a 2-hit ball game already here. Then Jeter, Young, and Billy Butler. A-Rod on at second base. Cano, a 341 hitter here with 18 lifetime home runs here at Camden Yards.
I think the difficulty, and now they may walk him, is that you always hate to put extra runners on, but do you want to pitch to him? I mean, I still think you got to take your chance with Posada, as good a hitter as he can be. But you made a great point. Missing all that time with the foot fracture, that hairline fracture on that right foot. Not quite the same hitter.
3-0 delivery on the way, and he walks him. Not going to take the chance. A-Rod out there at second base. We'll keep an eye on the second baseman, Julio Lugo. We were kidding Julio before the ball game. This is an anniversary for him. It was back in 07 when he pulled one of the few hidden ball tricks that actually succeeded. It was against Alberto Calespo at second base. He had tagged up, moved down to second, and Lugo faked throwing the ball to the pitcher. Calespo wasn't aware of that. We asked Julio to talk about that before the game today.
Yeah, he realized it. I think he turned around. Some players let it be. Most of them call timeout, but that one let it be.
What did he say to you?
if you can repeat it after you tagged him.
Julio, you beep. And then we just went.
That's a quote. And he said he almost got Scudero Sunday here. Scudero was in second base. He had the ball. Scudero started off the bag, he said, and the umpire called timeout because he wanted to check the ball. Ground ball towards second base. He goes down. They get one there. They get the fielder's choice off Jorge Posada's bat, and there are 2 down.
Too good a pitch.
Yep. Got a little cutter on his fist, but you at least get 1 out. And now you set up another confrontation between Granderson and Millwood, and a little conversation right here. But we're not throwing him another slider, I can tell you that. Hit that for a grand slam.
He got it in the 3rd inning with 2 down. 2-2 count, our 4th drive of the game.
There it is. He goes from 2-0 to 6-0 in a hurry. 2 swings, 6 runs tonight for the Yankees.
Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. Now he comes up with runners on at 1st and 3rd. Granderson 4 home runs on the year and 2 against the O's. 1st and 3rd, 2 down. A-Rod and Jorge Posada the base runners. And Granderson will take it outside for a ball. Frank Mott is up in the bullpen. Millwood, 97 pitches. We're in the 5th inning. 1-1. Curtis Granderson playing in that legendary spot in baseball, center field for the Yankees. You can track him down, and he's adding some offense to go with it. 1-1 delivery to him. Granderson will pop that one up 3rd base. Tejada. And Millwood works his way out of it. Couple of left on in scoring position. Let me see. 33. Eddie
Serving made-to-order crab cakes, Charm City Market also features local microbrews on tap, as well as several gluten-free and vegetarian options. So if you're hungry for something unique at Oriole Park, check out Charm City Market. It's right behind home plate on the ballpark's main concourse. Gary?
That looks mighty good. Yankees have the 6-2 lead. Phillip Hughes, no walks, couple of strikeouts in the ball game. Oriole RBIs by Wieters, Montanez in the 4th inning. Home runs by the Yankees that gave them a 6-0 lead for Phillip Hughes, and now 6-2. Strasburg making his debut, and now on the winning side of it, as he has worked 6 innings, giving up the home run and 4 hits total. And look at the strikeouts.
Yeah, only 11.
11 Ks against the Pirates. Pirates had a lead 2-1 in the ball game. Washington has come back to go on top 4-2. It's on.
Yeah, Adam Dunn with a home run. A mighty swat, as he can do.
Full ballpark tonight to watch that one. Here's Julio Lugo, top of the order. He's 0 for 2. He's flied out twice.
Well, Phillip Hughes, a former #1 guy, 23rd guy chosen back in 2004, as we mentioned, out of Santa Ana, California. $1.4 million signing bonus.
0-1 pitch is going to be taken away. Hughes was 8-3 last year, 7-1 already this year. 2.54 ERA, is 5th best in the American League. 1-1 delivery, and that's called for a strike, and he walks away.
Yeah, for Julio, he's just going to have to figure out how to get more hits against right-handed pitching. Only hitting 118, only 6 for like 56 coming in. Lefty's a little bit different story, hitting well over 300.
Philip Hughes with a 1-2 delivery to him, and that one's going to be blooped to right, and that's in for a base hit.
Well, that's one of the ways.
He might have to go back to push button. I used to see him doing quite a bit of push button, and I mean, you know, just almost to take a pitch, he would always fake a bunt, you know, but then he would actually lay the ball down quite a bit.
Lou goes on with the leadoff single. The Orioles have had the leadoff man on now in 3 innings, 3 of the 5. Tejada a single, and he is popped out.
Well, when you're 23, Gary, and you see the scoreboard 6-2, and you know you got to go 5 innings, this is a critical inning. And it does put a little bit more tension, especially if the Orioles, going back into the heart of their lineup, get a couple of consecutive base hits, something they did last inning.
Hughes wants to get that 5th done to qualify to get a win in this ball game.
And it's not that you only want to pitch 5 innings, but you know you have to, if you're going to have a lead, at least pitch 5 to get a win. And I assume that's important to him. It certainly was to people in my era.
I don't think that 5 was there, Jim. I thought.
No, but when you get a 6-0 lead, boy, you're thinking, I got to win this game.
Oh yeah.
Double play ground balls. A couple of them. The active leaders. Miguel Tejada, number 2 on that list behind Ivan Rodriguez. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Tejada with a runner at first base. Hughes comes inside and misses, and a 2 ball, 1 strike count. Hughes now up to 80 pitches thrown.
Well, you just hope the home plate umpire is not changing on him right now. I mean, he gets you accustomed to having that pitch called in there, and then all of a sudden he starts clamming up on you.
I think Miguel was happy. That was a nice take.
Cervelli moves outside. 2-1 delivery. That's where the pitch was. And a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Cervelli loves to move around back there. We've seen him in previous series. Sometimes he sets up where he really is going to stay. Other times he'll set up, and then as the pitch is delivered, almost that late move. I mean, he's a very active catcher back there.
Well, as long as he moves soon enough so you can see the glove and you can pitch to an area. All right, here it looks like he's going to come in because got that left leg out. And they do.
2-2. And I'm sure some pitchers prefer to have him stay where he is.
Well, yeah. I just think it's hard. In some of the All-Star games, when I had Bill Freehan, even, I mean, you know, terrific catcher for the Tigers, and then Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk, which were big guys. You saw them move when they moved. He's a little guy, so at least he has, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Matt Wieters is 1,000% better because he's big and he's quiet. That's what you want. You want him to move, but you want some calmness back there.
And also what you're doing is setting up the offensive team right there. They're actually seeing you move.
Cano's got it. Robinson Cano makes the play. Lugo will go down to second base. On Saturday, celebrate Birdland's 2 home teams. First 20,000 fans 15 and over get the O's Ravens Rally Cap, presented by Massa. Appearances by the Ravens marching band, cheerleaders, mascot, and more as the O's take on the Mets. Get your tickets early and save 888-848-BIRD, to go to Orioles.com.
He was throwing out the first pitch. It was Eddie Murray tonight.
He was.
How'd it go, Eddie? We were standing up.
It went pretty good. I tell you, I tried to get up on the rubber, and they started signaling me to come down a little bit.
Yeah.
I still got it. Delivered a strike.
Stay back there?
No. Delivered a strike. He would have been proud of it.
Oh. Here it is.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, I'm questioning this.
Eddie Murray?
Right.
Why don't you? That's shorter than Little League. That was pretty tight. You know, his nickname was Tired. That was really tired.
The bird called it a strike. It's a strike.
Thank you.
Well, that curveball that was about 6 inches outside didn't make Nick Markakis happy.
Neither will this pop-up.
No.
A-Rod. Lugo at second base, 2 down. Markakis out of there. Strasburg now. Washington up 4-2, 7th inning. The 14 strikeouts. He's just struck the side out again. Mercy. He's actually living up to the billing, which is pretty darn hard to do.
Give him a raise.
Yeah, give him a raise. Wow.
I'm not sure if you can,
seats.
I'm not sure if you can do that. $15.1 million? Supposed to be good, isn't he?
Well, yes.
My voice got really high there.
It did. There was that money.
Yes.
Yes. Ty Wigginton.
There's sometimes I think about hitting, and you know, we look at the young Oriole hitters, and you know, there's a certain amount of bats you get before you start to grow, and you watch these guys, you know, have to deal with this umpire, but then you're dealing with, you know, you got to learn how to deal with those umpires that are calling that pitch 6 inches off the plate. That's your job. You got to learn to deal with it, learn to hit it. Then you know, after you graduate to another 200, 300 at bats, you now know how to not to swing and go after that pitch that's thrown high that they want you to chase 0-2. You know, it's just a growing game. I mean, you know, it's a growing pains here that they have to do together.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Wigginton to protect me.
There it is, that growing pains. Ball thrown up high, 0-2.
Well, he's grown a lot because he's a veteran. I mean, that was the emergency bat. You never had any of those, did you?
I think that's where the name came from watching me.
Let me tell you, Elrod would be waving the towel and the hat.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Elrod Hendricks.
I tell you, at one time, I think everybody laughed at me, and then all of a sudden they go, maybe there's something to this.
They aren't laughing anymore, I'll tell you that.
Well, it was something else to get another pitch.
Ty Wigginton with an 0-2 count, 2 down. And he'll take the pitch outside for a ball. Wiggy has one of the most diverse averages. When he's ahead on the count this year, he's hitting .500. When he's behind, he's hitting .151. Now, that kind of a breakdown is not unusual. The disparity is a bit unusual. 1-2, Lugo off second base. That'll be in the dirt. Cervelli able to block it, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
And the other thing that's really kind of an aberration is that his power numbers. I mean, you know, there's 13 home runs, 12 of them against right-handed pitching, only 1 against lefties. Certainly not as many at bats, but you know, and the average not as good. 228 versus 293. He's had some really good at bats against right-handed pitching over the course of the year.
He's got a 2-ball, 2-strike count here, trying to get Lugo home. That's a big run. Try and cut that Yankee lead to 6-3 if they can get it. Lugo moved up on the ground ball out by Tejada. Juan Samuel watching, looking for his second major league win. 2-2 delivery, hit hard, a base hit into left field. Gardner up, runners coming. Here comes a throw to the plate, off the mark, and he scores. A 2-out RBI by Wigginton, and it's 6-3.
Well, there you go. A couple of really clutch hits tonight for the O's, all with 2 outs. It is a bullet, and Gardner, he ends up about, I don't know, maybe 30 feet from the infield grass. Watch him charge this ball. Any kind of accurate throw is going to be bang, bang. And again, Gary Allison just sends him. Make a perfect throw.
Well, again, Jim, we talked about it today about the lack of infield practice. You know, the guys out here taking infield practice, and somehow you're expecting to throw the ball on the bag as, you know, you're in the game. Well, you don't practice this. You know,
it used to be an everyday occurrence. Yep.
Absolutely. I think it's something that's really needed in this game. Right there, that guy was dead but 10 feet if he gets the ball to the plate.
Luke Scott will pop that one up third base. A-Rod is there, and he's got it. But Ty Wigginton gets a big 2-out hit to pick up his 34th RBI of the season, and the Orioles have cut the Yankee lead to 6-3. this floppy hat. That's for kids. The kid-size version of this floppy hat's a big hit with families all over Birdland. Hope you'll get your tickets in advance. Save if you do. 888-848-BIRD. Or go to Orioles.com. You can get that kid's floppy hat this Sunday.
Hat trick weekend.
Hat trick weekend. Adults and kids.
And then you get the Ravens. Boy, Ravens. What are we going to do with all those things up here when they send them up to the booth?
Wear them.
You'll look good. We'll all look good.
Thank you. And it's reversible. Here's Francisco Cervelli. That one in the air to right field is going to fall in for a base hit. Cervelli 1 for 3. That's his first hit of the ball game. Time for our Chili's game flow. Chili's. It's all in the preparation.
Eddie knew that, though.
He knew that. Game flow tonight. Long ball by the Yankees. Swisher in the first inning, a 2 RBI homer, a grand slam. In the third inning by Curtis Granderson. 6-0 lead. Game flow for the Orioles. All singles. How about that?
Well, Mr. Millwood is still out here battling. I tell you, this is why you want him on your staff. I tell you, you thought it would just eat up some innings, but he has kept them in the inning. They're picking away at it. They're 6-3. They technically have shown them the game.
Well, I mean, I think they really expected, obviously, to win more games, but no run support, but to do pretty much what he's done. Not throw grand slams, because he made a horrible pitch, the Swisher home run. I mean, it's, you know, you got to throw a strike. He hits it. Big deal. But they can finish it.
Check swing ground ball back to the mound. 1. Really lovely in time. Millwood knew who was running. He gunned it to second, hoping he might get a double play, but that's tough to do on Gardner.
Yeah, even with a check swing, when a guy can fly, and maybe not literally, but he gets down that baseline. I mean, watch him go. Didn't want to check his swing, but he did. And now, of course, you got to figure that maybe Jeter will take a pitch, and Gardner didn't run the last time, and he got the double play off the bat of Jeter. I would think this would be a running situation.
Derek Jeter has struck out, hit into a double play, drawn a walk, and scored. Brought a 4-game hit streak with him. Hitting .297. Millwood aware. Gets Gardner back. So Strasburg, 14 strikeouts. He's thrown 94 pitches. Has the 4-2 lead in his debut. 7 innings, 4 hits, and he's out of the game. Fouled away.
Guy with a baby reaching for that one.
No, don't do that. Oh, my
well, he's
God.
trying to save the other one. Okay, good way to go, Dad.
Wow.
I didn't see the other baby on the right there. He's there with 2 youngsters. He's doing the protecting thing there.
Jeter 6 home runs. 34 RBIs, takes it for a strike. He turned around and said, no, it wasn't. Well, I mean, you get away with that if you're the Yankee captain and you're Derek Jeter.
Well, that ball was a strike, though.
That's pretty good, huh? Reaching base, 26 consecutive games for Jeter. Longoria right behind him. A-Rod's got 15.
Well, the Yankees do have a 10. I mean, they grade calls like Earl Weaver used to grade writers' stories. Used to give them A's, B's, C's. You can always see Jeter. I mean, he does a little George Foster where he kind of looks out at the outside corner when they call the questionable ones. And it's worked. I mean, he's got 2,821 hits.
I think he was kind of surprised here that Gardner's not going.
I'm taking a pitch and you're not running?
You're not running. Here's the 1-2, maybe. Gardner gets back.
But the one thing that Kevin did the last time when he bounced in a double play when Gardner on first was he slide stepped early on, held the ball. I mean, he's really varying his cadence. I didn't have a choice. Eddie be yelling at me. Step off. Slide step. I get a lot of help from first base when Eddie was playing over there. Same with Boog. I saw Boog today. I mean, you're going to, both as big as these two guys are, you're going to, whatever they do. Yeah.
I tell you, that's one of the hardest things to do today is to get that first baseman to believe that he's part of the running game.
Boy, has Gardner got a big lead. That's up high. Don't know why he's not running unless he wants to leave that hole for Jeter.
Well, the one thing, I mean, Kevin Nolly, about 6'4", big guy, about 240, but he's quick to the plate, and Wieters throws well. Look at that lead, though. You're right.
2-2, runner goes.
Yep.
Jeter
slide step and
held it away.
Eddie, on the way to 3,000 hits, did you really think about it? Or you just kind of get caught up on the daily basis? Because, Jeter, I asked him, I said, do you know your lifetime batting average with runners in scoring position is 309? He said, no, never really. I said, is there a key to hitting with runner? And I never thought about it.
There was one thing that I would surprise you with, which is something I always knew. I always knew how many stolen bases I had.
That's like Palmer knowing how many home runs he hit.
Yeah, right.
And that's true. Ooh. Noah thought he had that. It goes 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down, 1 on.
Well, how many did you have?
I ended with 110. Sounds like a lot, but
no, it doesn't.
When you mix in that 21 years, it kind of.
Oh no, boy, that's not very many at all.
Chopped up a few, yeah.
Yeah, but how many on the back end of a double steal? That's the big question.
Gardner goes, and there's that Jeter base hit. Gardner will go. Oh, he fell down. Here's a throw by Markakis, and they got him at third base.
Big mistake.
Brett Gardner made a mistake as he pulled up, as he turned around second. Then he slipped, then he went, and he had no chance.
Yeah, once you do that, you better hold the horses. I mean, right there, that got to work. Markakis comes up and throws a rocket.
That guy's taking infield somewhere. That's some throw right there.
Well, the one thing Nick does as well as anybody, he comes in on the ball. And then the strength, and again, speaking about #1 draft choices, he could have. A lot of people thought he would have been just as good as a pitcher. And here's a perfect strike on the fly.
And with Gardner's speed, even though he fell, it took a perfect throw to get him. There's a big play. Now there are 2 down with a runner on at first. And Nick Swisher with a 2 RBI homer will take the pitch down low. He has since struck out twice.
Well, we could have expected that throw from my old pal Singy, couldn't we?
Yeah. Well, now you guys were talking, Singy had 25 stolen bases. You had 101, 111?
110.
110? Well, I tabulate.
Mark Henderson, you saw in the bullpen. That one all the way through the kitchen into the pantry that time, and a 2-0 count.
Well, since the home run, he hadn't seen a lot of fastballs. So it was the first pitch fastball after the walk to Jeter, and this cutter almost gets him in the back knee.
Leaders goes out to make sure. 2 down here in the 2-0 count. And Swisher came in without a hit off Millwood. First time up in this ball game after 0 for 12. He hit the home run. Jeter's on at first base. 2-0 delivery. Again inside. The count goes to 3-0.
And the problem for Kevin Millwood is that he's got a new manager. And does he want the lefty to face Teixeira, or does he want Millwood, who's already given up 2 hits to Teixeira, to come in? So again, if you pitch around Swisher, you may not be pitching for the next batter. That's something to be thinking about here.
That one's going to be hit into right field. Again, Markakis will hold Jeter. Jeter back to the bag. Swisher's got his second hit of the ball game. Solid single.
Well, not too bashful swinging away 3-0, is he?
No. Gotta love it. I stop and I think about sometimes if I didn't swing 3-0, what kind of numbers would I have had? And I remember going to Earl and fighting with him about it. You mentioned to him, why can't I swing 3-0? They throw it right down the middle. And I said, well, I'm showing you that I can take the ball, And he looked at me and he let me do it one day. And I think I really got after one pretty good. And from that point on, I was allowed to swing 3-0.
That was, yeah. Well, another scoring chance, and here's Mark Teixeira. Rick Kranitz will come out to talk with Millwood and Wieters.
Well, the most pitches he's thrown, is now Amada's back up throwing, is 120. So he's at 116. Actually make it 115. Not that 1 or 2 or 3 pitches means anything. It's obviously when you send the pitching coach out, Kevin's not leaving until they take him out.
Teixeira will get the RBI chance. Juan Samuel, the manager, chatting with his bench coach. Teixeira has 2 singles and a walk in the game. Switch hitter against Millwood now, 4 hits and 10 at-bats off him. 2 down and 2 on. And the inside corner strike.
You know, watching Mark run that first time and beating that ball out to first, and he hit the right fielder Lugo, I think he might be just a few steps too deep out there.
Well, if you're going to play that deep and you play the ball that way, that's allowed him to beat it out.
Right.
I mean, the only way if you're going to play that deep is to come in and try to short hop it. By going back, it allowed Teixeira, who was running hard, to beat it, and it set up the grand slam. That would have been a third out. Wouldn't have been an easy play, but it's certainly makeable.
Big play in the inning. The throw by Marquez to get the runner at third, Gardner. Yankees now with 10 hits on the board. Millwood has had a lot of hits against him this season. Giving up the most home runs, the 7th most runs, and the 4th most hits. And that pitch is taken down low. So a 3-ball, 1-strike count on Teixeira, and not pitching around him to get to A-Rod. Teixeira had only 3 hits in the month of June coming into this ball game. He's had 2 in this game. 3-1, and he did load him. That's 5 walks surrendered by Millwood.
That's really got to be disappointing when I think you know that you're getting that big a plate back there. Sometimes you're not close when you're actually walking these guys in.
And that will be it for him. So Kevin Millwood is going to extend his streak. He does not have a chance to win his first ball game of the year. He will leave responsible for the 3 base runners who are on. And Frank Mata will get the dubious distinction of coming into the ball game with the bases loaded to face Alex Rodriguez. But the home runs ended up being the blows. Swisher in the first inning for 2 RBIs and the grand slam by Granderson.
Yeah, didn't have his best stuff, didn't have his best command. That's back-to-back games against the Yankees, so he will leave his fate up and maybe the fate of the Orioles to Frank Mata, who will come in to face A-Rod with the bases loaded. That's yet to give up an inherited runner. He's come in with 3 runners on. Did give up a home run to Marco Scudero on Friday night when the Red Sox were in town. Throws hard.
Throws hard. A-Rod with 2 down and the bases loaded. And Rodriguez will take it inside for a ball. 2 fielder's choices and a strikeout. 7-game hit streak coming into this ball game. 51 career home runs against the Orioles. Leads all active players. He also has 167 RBIs, the most among active players against the O's. 1-0 delivery to him. A-Rod in the dirt. Wieters a good stop. Kevin Millwood leaving without being able to get a win since the Orioles arrived here in 1954. He has now tied Jason Johnson for the most consecutive starts without a win to start a year. Johnson in 2000 went 13. So has Millwood. The most consecutive decisions lost to start a season with the Orioles was Danny Baez, 7. Millwood, if he loses this game, will tie him for that as well. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that's a strike to him. 2-1.
Yeah, if you're not going to get that first pitch that's down around the knees, of course, that was a pitch that Alex didn't agree with early on and called out on it, so he doesn't get the call. Not a lot of room to put Alex anywhere with the bases drunk.
Jeter, Swisher, Teixeira. Mata's 2-1 delivery. Murad will take it inside.
I don't know where that term came from, the bases drunk.
Just happy days when you load them up. Only happy things can happen.
Not for Frank Mata right here.
That's the other side we're talking about. I think it's the offensive team that use that. Juan Samuel pacing. Mata's got to come here. 3-1 delivery.
No.
Good pitch.
Hey, he's got good movement and good velocity. And that ball dives in the strike zone. And watch this ball just sink out of the harm's way, so to speak.
I tell you, A-Rod knows how to hit with the bases loaded. I think he's around that 350 mark, and he has 20 grand slams. I think Manny might be the only active player that could have him beat there.
26-year-old Frank Mata ready with a 3-2 delivery. And strike. No, foul ball.
Yeah, he was ready to walk off. Nicked it. Just another two-seamer, runs down and in, and Alex able to stay alive. That's what you were talking about, Eddie, to hope to get a better pitch to hit down the road.
Yep. His ball is moving. It seems to be heavy, and you wonder, how is that baseball heavier? His ball seems to have some type of heavy sink to it.
3-2 again. Rodriguez, chopper to third. Tejada over to first. Gets the out. Big out. So after all of that, no runs, 3 hits, and the Yankees lead. The bases loaded. It remains 6-3. Dugout Club and a chance to play here at Oriole Park. Adam Jones is scheduled to appear at the summer's first camp in Westminster, June 21 through the 25th. For information, 410-472-3500 to go to Orioles.com. I think he signed up right there, that youngster. He's going to the first camp. See Adam. Clearly anxious and ready. And here is Adam. Now the Orioles of the big inning in the 6th to prevent the Yankees from scoring. Now we'll try and use that as a momentum builder here offensively. Jones has flied out twice, 0 for 2. Philip Hughes, the starter for the Yankees, still on the mound, up high for a ball.
And Juan Samuel, I mean, again, this is his 4th game. He saw the first 2 games get out of hand because the bullpen did implode to some degree. So Mata does a really nice job.
That one away.
Well, there they are. Again, a lot of singles. Still looking for some extra base hits because the Yankees have hit 2 home runs for 6 runs. A lot of clutch hits tonight.
Good seeing Williams get 2 hits right there. Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strikeout on Jones. Adam hitting at 245. Right center field, Swisher. Guys were all saying the ball just not carrying there tonight in that right center field area, which is always a tough spot to drive the ball. Luke Scott was trying to mash some BP out there, and he said there's some heavy air. He said beautiful weather, but heavy air, and the ball goes out there.
Well, a little bit of wind all day long.
Yeah.
And it's always difficult in this ballpark to tell. I mean, sometimes we can get our papers blown around so we know it's blowing in, but it swirls.
Flags are just up against the post in some places, just waving a little out in left center. Matt Wieters, 2 singles in the ball game.
And then it used to be the birds up on top of the scoreboard, whatever way they were facing, but now they're facing each other. So either they're confused or
all you need is
not blowing. I don't know. There we go. What do you have to say? Nothing.
We're talking to one another. 2 strike count on Wieters. Hughes has not walked anybody, and he has struck out 2 in the ball game. Philip Hughes doing what many starters have been doing against the Orioles because the O's have not been hitting. Opposing starters now have made 11 consecutive quality starts, including 2 complete games.
Well, it's not only the hits, it's also the on-base percentage and working the walks. And I don't know if that's, the fact they have seen good pitching. I mean, Hughes is 7-1 against everybody.
That's who you play. Got him. Yep. Wieters is retired on the call. 3rd strike. That's 3 for Hughes.
And again, this is the perfect pitch, only in the sense it's probably a ball. I mean, look how far outside this is. But he throws it exactly where the home plate umpire has been calling it on occasion. Why throw a strike when they don't make it?
Boy, this is an ideal night for a pitcher to be ahead in the count and experiment.
Yeah, just expand. Keep expanding. The umpire's going right with you.
Right, early in the game, Millwood trying to throw strikes.
And even a high strike right there. Now, I know that DJ Rayburn, when he played Little League, that's the home plate umpire, he had to be a pitcher. He wasn't a hitter. That type of guy. Oh, yeah.
Martinez, an RBI single, 4th inning, one of the two-out RBIs he and Wieters had. Inside corner.
That's not a good pitch there.
Well, this is an umpire that's, I hate to be so harsh, he's just getting overmatched. I mean, this ball's not even close to being a strike. Never called.
On Samuel, just looking like.
Well, and it's fair for both sides. And if the Orioles had hit a grand slam and 2-run home run, they wouldn't care how big the strike zone is. It's just they haven't done that.
Well, the thing is, when you have the Yankees that got all those thousands of bats under their belt, and you're dealing with the Orioles who's got a couple of hundred, it's a mind game.
2 strikeouts in the inning, 4 in the ball game, 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. 6-3 Yankees.
10 runs in the last 4 starts in the first inning. Granderson would make it 6-0 with a grand slam. Orioles come back. Matt Wieters, a couple of hits tonight, one on RBI, and Wigington also able to score Julio Lugo. So the Orioles crawling back into this game. As you can see again, the long ball for the Yankees, the difference in tonight's, at least to this point.
Mark Hendrickson will come on. Frank Mount came out and got the final out in the 6th inning. Millwood 6 runs, 10 hits, 5 2/3. And now Hendrickson.
Yeah, kind of a matchup with Cano, and you can see not a good control guy. Throws a lot of strikes. Got a good, not overpowering, but overhand curveball. Probably tougher against righties than lefties, as he will come in. And again, lefties hitting 277, righties 321 on the year. And Cano, again, it doesn't matter who he faces.
This will be the 4th game Hendrickson has appeared in against the Yankees this year. 1 run, 9 hits over 6 innings. Robertson Cano will take the pitch up high for a ball. Cano hitting 346 off lefties, 372 off right-handers. And that will make you 2nd in the league in average. And the pitch is in there for a strike.
Well, the leading batting average in the National League, I think, is Prado with Atlanta. He's hitting 325, so of course that could change, I suppose.
Not much difference anymore between the American and National League numbers. Boy, all around they're about the same.
Well, I think the ERA was, at least for a quarter of the season, about the same. The American League ERA is going up. So like it usually does. It's usually, about maybe a third of a run higher?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something to do with David Ortiz hitting again.
Breaking ball. Well, the DHs have started to pick it up. DHs around the league had a very tough first 6 weeks. Mark Hendrickson against Cano.
I mean, the Yankees DHs only 7 home runs this year after hitting 33 last year. And they're still 2nd, right behind the Red Sox.
Nick Johnson out. I mean, people forget Nick Johnson's not available for this ball club yet.
I still think you have to look at that designated hitter as a job. I mean, you can't just keep throwing people in there. It's not for everybody. And, you find guys that just have no idea what to do with their time. Me, I always watched the pitcher as much as I could from the inside, seeing if he could pick up something. You got to stretch, and it's just so much time on your hands that some of these guys don't know how to, to deal with it.
Yep. 3-ball, 2-strike count. And we fouled away. I can't remember, one of the managers we were talking with this season about that. I don't remember who, and he was saying that one of the problems is you have these veteran DHs who had come in, the guys who've done it for a long time, grown into it. Now you're trying to replace them, and there aren't any of the younger players, number one, who want to do the job. They don't want to take the DH role. They want to be in the field all the time. And two, as you're saying, that he's trying to get them trained to handle it. Off the glove of Lugo.
Yeah, it looked like he got there. The ball just hit so sharply, he doesn't catch it. It might have hit the lip of the grass.
I'll tell you, for one, I'm definitely, I love the designated hitter because that was my first job. I mean, Lee May was still here. I would have still been down in Rochester.
Yeah.
So I always speak highly of that position.
Well, it's a position. I mean, it's an opportunity. Here's Jorge Posada. That's a base hit. So Cano's got a 3-hit ball game. Posada's walked it into a fielder's choice and struck out, designated hitter. Any run now vital. We're in the 7th inning. Off-speed pitch fouled off the catcher Wieters. Posada has faced Hendrickson a ton, 9 for 31 with 2 home runs lifetime off it. Seven innings. We're in the top of the 7th here. And a ball game which the Orioles have been able to get back into after turning 6-0. Cano back easily. Cano will run once in a while if he gets a big enough break. Couple of stolen bases and 4 chances this year. 0-1 delivery. Posada tipped it into the mitt. Strike 2.
Well, here's your DH. He's not used to it.
Nope, he doesn't want it.
No, he wants to play.
He's made that very clear.
Well, I remember when Gary Sheffield, he said, when I became a DH, I hated it. And he was with the Tigers. He said, I used to be able to help the club if I wasn't hitting with my glove because he was a pretty good right fielder.
That one bounces. A wild pitch.
Yeah, way out in front of home plate, and Cano was running. I mean, you do it all spring. You see him do it in spring training, and he gets a great read on this, Eddie.
Oh, boy, that guy actually hit the grass.
Yep. Well, when you're 6'9", and there you go. Nice. I mean, the fact that Wieters, the ball bounced so far out in front of home plate, almost hopped over his shoulder.
So the Yankees get a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Now Posada's job at least to get him up to third. His at-bat changes a little here with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Hendrickson's pitch down the line the other way, and a foul ball. Yankees only a game above 500 on the road this year. They're 16-15. They've really used the new Yankee Stadium to their favor. 19-7 at home. They have 3 of the top 10 hitters this year in the American League in their home ballpark. If they can continue to play 500, of course, on the road and keep those numbers up at the stadium, they'll be in fine shape. Chasing Tampa Bay, they're 2 games out coming into this one.
No, they score so many more runs when they're home. Pitching actually better on the road than it is there. But again, they just can put the numbers up there with offense. That's what they did last year.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, they've only played 26 home games this year.
That's scary.
Yeah,
that's scary.
And they're 19-7. Yeah,
contenders in the East. A lot of those games will be coming up against the Eastern Division.
Yeah, they still have 13 with the Rays. They trail.
1-2 delivery and a great pitch. Hendrickson gets a big strikeout. And there's one away. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game here at tonight's candidates. Granderson's got a grand slam home run. Use the starter, a chance for his 8th win. He's still out there for the Yankees. And Matt Wieters, who's delivered 2 singles and an RBI. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862. Here is Curtis Granderson. That grand slam came in the 3rd inning. Home run number 4 in the year. Runner at second, 1 out. Granderson to center field. That's going to fall in. Late start. Cano, he'll be held. Hard line drive. Granderson's second hit. 1st and 3rd now with 1 away.
Well, a lot of times you think about situations, and like you said it right. Posada was going to try and hit the ball to the right side. After a while there, once he moved to second, I'm telling you, they just pounded him in with everything. Now, this is where you got to get him in. I mean, it's tough as heck hitting that ball to right field when they're pounding you up underneath your arms and hands. And you look at the last 4 pitches thrown to him, and it finally struck him out. But he was trying to do his job, which was to move that runner over. So sometimes it get him in.
That's an adjustment that takes place, Eddie, right in the middle of an at-bat.
Absolutely.
Here's Francisco Cervelli. Cervelli has a single. He's 1 for 3. Same number he has against, 1 for 4 against Hendrickson. And Cervelli takes the strike on the inside corner. And Albers in the bullpen.
Well, how about having a backup catcher, though, that, with a third of the season gone, that's hitting .452 with runners in scoring position. What a bonus that is. Had yet to hit a home run. Hadn't hit a home run since last year. And tough to double up because he runs so well.
Another big at bat in this ball game for Hendrickson. Cervelli takes it away. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Cervelli came in having picked up only 1 hit in his last 19 at bats. He's added 1 with a single here in the 6th inning. 1 for 3 in the ball game.
But 14 for 31 with runners in scoring position. Just an amazing number this deep into the season.
The backup catcher right now is the catcher for the Yankees. 1-1 count. Runners off first and third, and Cervelli will take it outside. 2-1.
I love looking at this helmet. Just seems like the only thing missing is a dirt bike.
I like that.
He wears that new minor league helmet, which has greater protection inside, but is bigger. The majors are not using them yet. They don't have to use them. 2-1, runner goes. Wieters does throw. Oh, good play, Lugo. Back over to third base, and Cano's there. Stolen base for Granderson.
Well, he stole 20 last year, and that's another thing he brings to the table for the Yankees. We got Gardner with 20 steals already this year. Change up, little double clutch, and Lugo picks him up by catching it.
5 for 5 stealing bases for Curtis Granderson.
And now you have to bring your infield in, and by doing that, they cut off one run and makes it easier to score two.
3 ball, 1 strike count. Cervelli with Gardner on deck. Cervelli takes it, and the bases are loaded again. Yankees left the bases loaded in the 6th inning without getting a run in. They get another shot here in the 7th with the bases loaded. Rick Kranitz is on his way out.
Well, they better wish for a pop-up here. I don't know if they can double this guy up on the ground.
Would have to be one monster hit ball. Gardner, well, amazingly, Gardner has hit into 3 ground ball double plays. That surprises me. I would have thought 1, and maybe that'd be it.
Well, only in the days of George Sherrill would he can load the bases up with a 1-run lead in a save position and get Ichiro to hit a double play. Those days don't happen too often. They end the game. I mean, and you're sitting here, you're going, how did that ever happen? Well, that's kind of like doubling up Gardner, because he hits lefties pretty well. He's hitting 281. And this might have been about the fact that he may try to bunt, stay out of the double play.
He does force both first and third to watch for that. 2 for 8 runners in scoring position for the Yankees. 3 for 8 for the O's so far in the ball game. Now Gardner, a single his first time up. Got thrown out, trying to go to third in the 6th inning on a fielder's choice.
And that's why the infield's halfway in, Gary, because they may want to come home.
Good jump being taken by Cano. Cano has been doing this since he got to third base. He's walking off a decent lead, and then as soon as that pitch is delivered, he gets off the base as far as he can. Robbie Thompson, the third base coach, helping him over there. 1-0 count. And watch him come off the bag. See him start creeping, and then jumps. And the pitch is up high. No place to put him. 2-0 on Gardner. Gardner 2 for 4 off Hendrickson, lifetime.
Well, the amazing thing is the Oriole pitcher staff has walked 6 with this strike zone tonight. And it's been huge. Like a national park.
2-0 delivery on the way, and that one blooped in the air. Left center, long run is Torres. Nobody's going to get it. And it'll be station to station. Cano scores. Gardner gets the RBI, 7-3.
That's great base running right there by all 3 guys out there. They waited, they turned, they looked, they inched off the bags, and then all of a sudden there was a go. Once they could see it was going to fall. Look at them. They all just measuring it, and it's perfectly done.
Well, Gardner comes through and gets the RBI with the bases loaded. That'll be for Gardner, RBI number 19. And Hendrickson is coming out of the ball game. Bases are still loaded, still only 1 away here in the 7th inning. And Derek Jeter's coming up. Matt Albers will face him. Albers now.
Yeah, sinker baller came in on Sunday. Couple of walks. Home run on Friday night, so 3 innings over the weekend against the Red Sox. There you go. He matches up well against Jeter. He's 1 for 8 lifetime off him. Ground ball pitcher. You're looking for a ground ball if he sinks the ball. And of course, Jeter trying to break the game open.
Yep. Bases loaded. Jeter's walked, singled, struck out, hit into a double play. And he will take Albers' delivery for a strike. Infield will play it. Double play depth.
13 hits, and 2 of them home runs.
And only 1 career grand slam for Derek Jeter. This season with the bases loaded, he's 1 for 6. The home plate umpire turning around to have a word with somebody behind home plate, a fan. Wow. Oh, 1 count. Everybody's got a word for him tonight, I guess. Jeter will take the pitch inside, and the count goes to 1-1. So the inning started with a single by Cano. He has scored. A single by Granderson, a walk. Cervelli, a single by Gardner. Bases remain loaded with 1 away. 7th inning, a run in. Yankees now 7 runs on 13 hits. Jeter takes it outside.
Again, remember the lifetime runners in scoring position. I mean, this year he's even better. 309 lifetime. With 2 strikes or 2 outs, it's 316. This year it's 333.
2-1 count. Albers. And Jeter in the air. Not particularly deep. Tagging up Granderson, who's got good speed. He won't go. Jones gets it in.
You probably don't send him because of Swisher on deck. But that was not a good throw, as it turned out.
Big second out. Wigginton came across to make sure it didn't get away.
Well, again, the guy on third is just getting off the disabled list. All factors added in there. Hey, we up for it. Let's stay here.
Well, the bases remain loaded. Now there are 2 down. And now here's Nick Swisher. Swisher with a home run and a single, and has struck out twice. 2 for 4. Swisher 0 for 6 off Albers' lifetime. And again, we've had key moments in this ball game repeatedly, especially with the Yankees here in the last 2 innings getting bases loaded opportunities.
No, it's a big opportunity for Matt.
Chance to get out of it again with only 1 run at being scored in the inning.
Because he is so much better against righties. Lefties at 310. If he can start getting lefties out, then all of a sudden he becomes a much more serviceable right-handed pitcher.
4 grand slams in his career. He has not had one this year. Swisher 2 for 5 with the bases loaded. Off-speed breaking ball away. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Remember, this is the first of 3. The Yankees in town for 3 night games. We'll have Chris Tillman against C.C. Sabathia tomorrow, Jeremy Guthrie and A.J. Burnett on Thursday. Then the Mets will be in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here's the 1-1 delivery. That one in the air to right center field. Swisher's done it again. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Granderson scores. Cervelli scores. Gardner will score. A bases loaded double. 10-3 Yankees.
Having an amazing year. Amazing night right here. I mean, just a fastball in the middle of the plate. And he finds the gap.
A 5 RBI night for Nick Swisher. He continues to be a real nemesis to Oriole pitching. And that'll be fouled off by Teixeira, the 8th Yankee to bat in the inning.
Well, it appears to me, and Eddie would know this better than I, that he has a pretty good idea until he gets to 2 strikes about what he wants to hit.
Well, the game was invented on the fastball, as I tell the young guys, and I tell you, all that other stuff was invented to get you out.
Yep.
Keep it simple.
So Albers coming on to try and get out of the inning, get Jeter, but could not get Swisher. Now Mark Teixeira, 2 walks, 2 singles. Runner at second and 2 down. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Towering fly ball to right field. That is way back. And goodbye home run. Oh, did Mark Teixeira get all of that one? A 2 RBI homer. It's 12-3. On the season for Teixeira, his first against the Orioles this year. And the bases are empty, and the Yankees have batted around as the bullpen, the Juan Samuel, does not get it done. Rodriguez looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 4. 9th batter to hit in the inning. The inside to him and a 2-0 count.
5 hits, a walk, a double, a home run. That usually spells huge inning. And there have been 2 of them tonight. The grand slam in the 3rd, and then the 6th run here in the 7th.
Teixeira's 2nd home run lifetime off Albers. A-Rod will foul that one off, so it's a 12-run, 15-hit ball game.
Well, a lesson to be learned, I think. The Orioles struggling for runs. Swisher was 0 for 6 till he got a pitch to hit and doubled up the gap to get Teixeira to the plate.
4 runs charged to Hendrickson in the 3rd of an inning. A-Rod will take the pitch and a 3-ball, 1 strike count.
Well, Philip Hughes says it's about time, guys. I'm used to 8 runs a game. You only got me 7 going into the 7th.
You got him now. Rodriguez 3-1 and a full count. The Oriole pitchers have struggled as it's gone along. See the starters April, May, and June now 0-5. Innings pitched has gone down. ERA has gone up. As a result, the relievers have had more work, and that ERA is starting to edge up again, as we saw last year. 3-2 delivery, A-Rod to center. Jones. But a big 6-run 7th inning for the Yankees. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly.
But Mr. Hughes has been getting his support, and he got it again tonight. He's got 12 tonight, so I'm sure he's in that locker room icing his arm down and very happy with it.
Kevin Millwood, another long night, Jim?
Yeah, I think he's probably disappointed again because of the command issues. And we talked about the fact that now, he's given up 10 runs in his last 4 starts in the first inning. So when you know you're not going to get a lot of runs, I mean, it has been established. Lucky 13 wasn't going to be tonight. Hadn't been able to win in 13 starts. They haven't gotten a lot of runs, and he didn't pitch as well as he would like. The one really glaring mistake was just a slider in the middle of the plate. Granderson hit it for a grand slam, and it became 6-0. And that's tough when you're not scoring a lot of runs to come from behind.
And the hitters who have been so monstrous, the swishers in the lineup, A-Rod, Cano, continue to get it done. They just seem to have a number on the Oriole pitchers.
Well, they might have to make a move and get Swisher here someday. I tell you, he has just been blowing the Orioles up here for a while.
And Philip Hughes will get to lead the ball game with a lead of 12-3, and David Robertson will come on to do the pitching.
Well, you can see the inflated earned run average, and again, a guy that strikes out more than 1 inning. Fairly straight fastball, but 92 to 94 with a big overhand curveball. So he's a guy that came up last year, and he and Philip Hughes were the guys that got them to Mariano Rivera on their way to a world championship, the 27th of the storied Yankee career.
Hughes with a chance to win his 8th against only 1 loss. The Yankee starters out of there as Torres in. Yankees are going to rest a couple of starters here. Pena comes into play. Rodriguez is out of there. Rodriguez came out of the ballgame Sunday with a slight tightness in his groin. That may be the reason that he's come out again here, just more for precautionary reasons. As Torres takes that to center, Granderson was playing shallow. He's got plenty of time to get under it for the out. 1 away here in the 7th inning. Robertson out of the bullpen for the Yankees. We'll remind you, you can vote for your favorite O's for the 210 All-Star Game at Orioles.com. If you do, you could win the Orioles VIP Experience All-Star Sweepstakes. One lucky winner, 4 tickets to an upcoming game, parking, on-field access for BP, meet and greet with the All-Stars, and a personalized All-Star Game batting jersey. Visit Orioles.com/All-Star for complete details. Hughes out of there, 3 runs, 9 hits off him. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 4. Robertson with a miss inside. Lugo a single in the 5th inning. Come around to score, and a Wigginton RBI base hit. Wieters and Montanez have the other RBIs for the Orioles. That's in there for a strike. 1-1. And again tonight, how many games have we seen it? All the hits are singles. It's so hard to score when all you get's 1 base at a time.
Well, I mean, we always used to talk about the great Atlanta stats, and I played on some great staffs where if you keep the ball in the ballpark, it takes a lot of singles to have a big inning. You like to think that singles, and again, Eddie, you know this is a Hall of Fame hitter. As we look at Alberto Castillo, is that singles lead to good at bats, and you use the whole field, and then you maybe not hit home runs because you may not be a home run hitting ball club, but you do drive the ball up the gaps.
Right. I guess that's something that the singles do. They
and oh geez,
a little longer, a little wider.
Well, you judge for yourself. It's only right on the chalk. It's really kind of embarrassing that they would. That you have 4 umpires. You have 3 guys at your regular crew.
Wow. That's tough to hit right there.
Well, tough to swing
especially, I still remember the first pitch he got. It was up in the end around his shoulder.
That one to third, that's a base hit. Tejada with a 2-out single. He's 2 for 4 in the ball game.
Yeah, Miguel says, I am not getting to 2 strikes.
There we go. Yes, hitting's about courage.
Now the Orioles got 10 hits in the ball game, but they trailed 12-3 here in the 7th inning. Markakis singled to lead off the 4th and came around to score. Nick 1 for 3 in the game. On the mound, Robertson. David Robertson making his 3rd appearance against the Orioles. He lost a ball game earlier this year. He has given up 4 runs on 5 hits in the 1 inning that he worked. And Robertson looking for a little better number against the Orioles. 1-0 count, 2 down to Markakis. And Markakis takes the pitch away, 2-0. The Orioles trying to get consecutive wins again. That's been hard to do. The last time the Orioles had consecutive wins was May 12 and 13.
Is that Minneapolis?
At Minneapolis. Was it?
And you were there, Eddie.
And you were there.
Yeah.
How about 4? No, home against Seattle was the homestand that came after that. Here's the 3-0 delivery. Markakis taking all the way. It's in there for a strike.
Well, it's rather obvious you're not going to win games where you give up 12 runs. But what you need to get back to is, again, I'm sure Kevin Millwood's intent was to go deep into the game and keep the game in hand. But for the Orioles, the immediate problem is, what are you going to do about your back end of your bullpen? You don't really have a closer. You'll hope that Simone will get well. He's on the disabled list with a hamstring problem. Mike Gonzalez, his velocity not up. He was the guy that was supposed to be your closer. Jim Johnson on the list with a ligament problem, a slight tear on the right elbow.
Runner going, and Markakis goes down swinging. So a couple of strikeouts in the inning for Robertson. Orioles will lead 1, 12-3 Yankees.
Corey Patterson is suffering from a strained groin that he actually received about a week ago in the last homestand, but it's been bothering him. He re-aggravated it in the Boston series over the weekend, and that's why he's sitting this one out. He's going to get some treatment tomorrow and try to get back in the lineup. We don't know if it's going to be a DL issue. It seems like he's going to just see how it goes, but go to MASNsports.com to keep updated on that story. Also, as Gary reported earlier in the game, Brian Roberts, they are shutting him down for right now until he gets more tests on his back. He never got into an extended spring training game because of soreness in his back. So once he gets more tests and sees the doctor, we'll find out more information as to what he is going to do for the rest of the season. Also, some good news. Alfredo Simone seems to be ready to come back pretty soon. He has been in some extended spring training games. He's throwing very well. His arm feels great. So we'll find out if he's going to come back up north anytime soon. They'll probably make that decision in the next couple of days, Gary.
Amber, it did sound like listening to Juan Samuel the day before the game that Simone's ready or just about ready to come back. On the mound, Elber's out of there. Alberto Castillo on.
Yeah, it's really been a struggle. Lefties and righties hitting over 400. And it's pretty much not about stuff. It's about command. And just throws a lot of balls in the middle of the plate.
Cano takes that to left field. Antonez. Oh, misjudged as it came back on him. He gets it though.
Wasn't routine, was it?
Cano, 3-hit ball game out there.
Yes, he's signaling that the ball was tailing away from him, but a left-handed ball will tail going to left.
Well, Eddie, maybe you can relate to when you played left field for us.
I don't want to remember those days.
You read them all,
gosh. But that was a good time, though. I mean, we weren't expected to do a whole lot, and Earl was trying to find a way to get me in the lineup. So he had Lee May at first, and they were trying to put me out in left, and just being thrown out there, I tell you, it's a very tough thing.
Well, had you played much left before that?
No, I was mostly all in the infield and stuff, and growing up as a kid and stuff like that. And I had no idea that Cal Sr. had found out that I used to catch. And he tried me at 17. He says you get to the big leagues 2 years sooner if I catch.
Can I catch you?
And I told him, I got time.
I got time. Good answer. No longer career as a result.
And he played left field like he was trying to land an aircraft on an aircraft carrier. Had the flags out there waving them. Oh.
Somebody help me out here. 2-ball, 1 strike count on Jorge Posada.
Then there was a third base experiment the following year.
With Doug DeCinces moving to second?
Oh, yes.
That, what, about 3 games that lasted?
Yes, like we had something to do with those 50 runs they scored.
Yes.
That was some hit Milwaukee squad, though.
3-1 count on Posada. Castillo's pitch to him, and that's going to miss down low. That's 7 Yankees who have drawn walks in this ballgame. At least, 1, 2, 3 have scored in the game.
Again, with the plate that we've had tonight.
Well, you were talking about how DJ Rayburn was talking to somebody behind home plate. They yelled, "You got a strike zone the size of a national park," and he turned around and said, "Which one?" And they said, "Yosemite."
That's not a good night for the home plate umpire.
Well, it's a shame because I mean I don't know how he's not a regular umpire, a normal umpire, I guess that would be. But you like to come up and be consistent and have a strike zone that.
Not get to meet everybody as
somebody
yelling at you.
Yes, that's right.
I'm good. I'm glad you bottom lined that.
Everybody knows your name. You'd almost rather not have that. No. 0-2 count, 1 down. Grand slam home run, 3rd inning. Curtis Granderson singled, scored in the 7th after he stole a base. Couldn't wait long enough on that one. And Castillo gets it.
But that just goes to show you. I mean, the majority of the nights, the guys don't come into play, and I tell you, they do a great job overall. It's the ones you don't really want. Like I said, you don't want to know their name because that means it's something not going right with that ball game. I'm not saying that all the hitters are right or all the pitchers are right, but it is nice to have a job done. And who was that guy back there last night? Then you will get to know his name.
Yep. 2 down. Here's Francisco Cervelli, and he fouls it away. Cervelli with an RBI base hit, and he has scored. He's had a couple of singles in the game. 2 for 4. I take that back. He has walked and singled. A hit in 3 times up.
Well, who's ever thought? Maybe they do get a little nervous, too. I mean, they're only human. They're here in the big leagues. They're here in the big leagues, and maybe just
so nervous they get.
Well, I do remember a game. We had a spring training game with Earl Weaver, and he went up to home plate and gave up the lineup. And when he came back, he said, "I don't know who the umpire is, but his hand was shaking when I handed him the lineup." And it was his first time ever umpiring for Earl Weaver, even though it was a spring training game. So it's not an easy job.
No, and that's why they come in from the minor leagues to have fill-in umpires who work vacation times, given chances to break in slowly. 0-2 delivery, and that will miss inside on a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And they get graded on every game, the home plate umpire in particular, with all the work that's done now with the electronic equipment, finding the strike zone to see how they called a game. They get a videotape the next day critiquing their work. Here's the 1-2 delivery inside. Did he go? No. Jerry Davis down to first.
So you would like to think that he will look at this tape and he will make some adjustments. And,
he will. The umpire supervisors tend to be pretty straightforward in critiquing. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Runner off first base. And tough pitch. That one's going to miss inside, though. 3-2.
How he lays off that, I don't know. Maybe it's because he doesn't overswing a lot.
23,171, 2-3-1-7-1 for the first game in this 3-game set against the Yankees. 3-2 delivery on the way, and it'll be fouled off. Boston has beaten Cleveland tonight 3-2. Tampa Bay has shut out Toronto 9-0 in other games in the American League East. Yankees will need a win to stay 2 games behind Tampa Bay.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a great race. The Red Sox coming back. And
4 teams.
Yeah. Toronto hitting all the home runs.
3-2. They want to check. Did he go? No. Cervelli gets the walk. He's had a couple of those tonight. 2 on, 2 down here in the 8th inning. RBI chance again for Gardner. So Gardner's not going to get the chance. Marcus Thames is going to come on and be the pinch hitter. There's a chance for Girardi, and you don't get a lot of them in the course of a year, to get some guys in you didn't plan to play in the game. But with a score of 12-3 here in the 8th, and a couple of at-bats.
Yeah, 1 for his last 13, so you try to get a good matchup. And then we told you Castillo, doesn't matter if you're righty or lefty, the league is hitting over 400 against him.
Marcus Thames 317 off lefties, 286 off righties. Thames has done a good job for him. He's hitting 304 and 69 at bats, a couple of home runs, 10 RBIs.
Well, there aren't too many better high fastball hitters that I've seen. I mean, he can match the high heater.
And 2.
Now, again, huge strike zone. Don't have to throw strikes tonight. That's been well documented. Don't throw one. Just get it close enough. Should get the strikeout. Well, maybe a little closer.
He's having a little trouble hitting that inside part of the plate or getting it close enough, or maybe I'll try going away. Just a little off the plate there.
Marcus Thames, 1-2. Not deep, left field. His turret's going out, and he will put it away. So no runs, no hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. The Yankees on top, 12-3. Celebrate the world we share. Here at Camden Yards, the Orioles down to the Yankees in the first game of this set, 12-3. Robertson came on, worked an inning, and gave up 1 hit. The Yankees are going to make some changes here in the infield. Pena's going to move over and play at shortstop. Thames is going to go up playing left field with Gardner out of the ball game, and Godin will come on to do the pitching.
Yeah, well, the Yankees last year started the year in Oakland, released down at AAA. This will be his 5th appearance. Pitched against the Orioles the other day. Last year actually pitched well. Actually had 6 starts for the Yankees. Never given up over 3 runs in any of them.
So Godin will work here against Wigginton, Scott, and Jones. Wigginton an RBI, 2 for 3 in the ball game. Takes that one in the air to right field. Nick Swisher will meander over. One away, 8th inning. Hope you'll join us again tomorrow. More O's action. Game 2 against the Yankees. Chris Tillman against CC Sabathia. Our coverage on Masson HD begins at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by your local Ford dealer, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on Masson.
And there they are. Sabathia, who's 12-1 against the Orioles. In fact, 3 of his 5 wins against the Orioles this year. And then Chris Tillman did not pitch well against Boston. Pitched well against Toronto in his first start of the year. Actually thought velocity-wise, some of the best velocity I saw against the Red Sox, but they did what the Red Sox do. Just took a lot of pitches, and then eventually it paid off for him.
Foul back by Luke Scott. 1 for 3 with a single. Yankees are trying to win their 9th consecutive ball game against the Orioles. Orioles are 1-8 against them on the year. Luke Scott to be followed by Jones. The 1-1 delivery by Godin. And a miss down low. Just noting that Tim Wakefield got that win for Boston, the starter, 3-2 over Cleveland. In the last 10 games on the road now, the Red Sox starters are 9-0 with a .7 earned run average. Yikes. That's on the road.
Well, I think if you can pitch and you're leading everybody thought that they were going to be somewhat faulty in their offense, but they're number 1 in the American League. Maybe not after tonight. The Yankees might move ahead of them, but they are scoring runs, and they don't even have Beckett.
Yeah. Well, everybody seemed to think the Phillies were dead and gone, and they jumped up tonight with 10 runs in this. Playing against a pretty good pitching staff there with Florida Marlins.
They just have to hit. That lineup.
It was a bad week.
Yeah, it was a bad week. Everybody went south at the same time.
They got shut out, what was that, 4 games in about 8 games?
Yep.
Well, last night, Hamels pitched well. Got beat by San Diego, who the Orioles will see week after next. Down there, Pitchers Park.
Beautiful park, but you talk about playing in one of our national parks. That's one of them. It's gorgeous, but it's big. Adam Jones, 0 for 3 in the ball game, off the fists. Runner on at first base here in the 8th inning, 1 down. Oriole RBIs have come from Wigginton, Wieters, and Montanez. The Orioles are still looking for an extra base hit in this ball game. 10 singles. The Yankees, they powered with homers in the first by Swisher, grand slam in the third by Granderson. 2 RBI homer to Shera in the 7th. And a 3 RBI bases loaded double by Swisher in that same inning. Godin misses outside. 2 ball, 1 strike count. For the Orioles to get a win against this Yankee team. Updated through this game, you see the record. The batting average 249 against all others, 221 against the Yankees, 2.3 runs a game against the Yankees, home runs 0.8, about with everybody else in the ERA, a run higher against the Yankees than anybody else. The Yankees have really made it tough this year and last year on the Orioles.
Well, they've now been outscored in the last 9 games to this point, 77-37. So you're just not in the type of games that you'd like to be in. And even if you're in, you're just not in there long enough. Yeah. I mean, it's a magic number. You start looking, I mean, the Orioles have averaged a little over 17 pitches per game as a staff. So if you're a starter, you're out of there after 6, maybe 6 2/3 innings. So the back end of your bullpen better be good.
Jones to center field. Granderson going back. Granderson at the wall, and goodbye, home run. Adam Jones with a 2 RBI homer, and the Orioles make it a 12-5 game.
That hit the middle of the plate. Mr. Jones did what he's supposed to do.
7th of the year, 18 RBIs. And the Orioles get to 12-5.
Yeah, that ball didn't have a whole lot of problems carrying, did it?
No. Ball being retrieved in left field. I guess Tim's getting it off the field. Well, the O's now 5 runs and 11 hits, and there's their first extra base hit of the ball game. There's Matt Wieters, 2 singles and an RBI. He's 2 for 3. Jones getting his 16th career home run here at Camden Yards. Taking a look at the bat as to where he hit it. One delivery to Wieters, and that's going to be a base hit. Well, Wieters has got a 3-hit ball game.
Nice easy swing there in that pitch.
Yeah, he's had 3 really good at bats today.
That is the first 3-hit game for Wieters this year.
Well, he jumped on a Phillip Hughes fastball and rifled it into right field the first time, and then he got the single to center the next time up, and then right there another one. Mike Harkey, yeah,
again out. That's what Matt was working on today, was that nice level easy swing, take the ball where it's delivered. And he has done that in this game.
Well, Terry Crowley used to do that with Ramon Hernandez, just trying to make sure that, and again, it's kind of what you were talking about in the pregame, Eddie, trying to not slow the bat down, but try to feel the bat head to the ball to some degree.
Yeah. I tell you, Jim, that's a lot what my ugly batting practice was about, was trying to hit the fat part of the ball, bat, and put it on the ball, and all of a sudden you'll start speeding things up a little bit, and all you're trying to do is get confidence. Confidence comes from hitting the fat part of the bat. And you break everything down 50% when you're struggling, and then you try and add a little more as you're just getting in a little rhythm.
Montanez, ground ball to the hole. Cano gets over and makes the play. Wieters goes down to second base, and there are 2 away.
Well, Rudy Jaramillo, who was the hitting instructor who mentioned earlier, 15 years down in Texas, talked about separation, where the hands go back, front foot gets down, and you can actually slow the ball down a little bit. So, Jimmy, is that just a rhythm?
Well, that's his theory on it. My thing, I prefer, I think you get that from loading. As a pitcher steps back to load up to throw the ball to you, to deliver it to home, you have to step back in order to buy some time. And I think it buys you confidence knowing that you have something to go forward.
Torres flies out to Granderson to end the inning, but Adam Jones delivers the 2 RBI homer after Scott had drawn the walk. Adam hits number 7. And we go to the 9th inning with the Yankees on top 12-5. Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Eddie Murray, Jim Palmer, and Amber Theo Harris. First of 3 against the Yankees. The Yankees having big innings. 2 in the first, 4 in the third, 6 in the 7th inning. And they've got the lead here as we go to the 9th. Alberto Castillo will stay on. Came on in the last inning, walked a couple. And we'll get the top of the order. Kevin Russo is hitting in the leadoff spot for Jeter. Jeter extended his hit streak to 5 games with a single as he went 1 for 4, a walk and a run scored. And Russo will take that inside, 1-1.
Out of Baylor University, had a chance as talking to Kenny Singleton behind the batting cage, and he introduced me to him. Utility guy, can play everywhere, outfield, infield. 20th round draft choice.
Down the line, long run Markakis, and nobody can get there.
Boy, it's amazing when you look at the numbers. 17 runs and 27 hits with a big strike zone.
No errors in this ball game.
Nope. Everything's earned. It's up there. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
I hope the shuttle isn't started up for tomorrow.
Fired into the seats. We'll be back with you tomorrow night. The Orioles will have Chris Tillman going against CC Sabathia. Tillman looking for his first win of the year, and Sabathia is 5-3. He's had his struggles in the last few starts. 1 ball, 2 strike count. The Yankees looking for their 36th win of the season. 1-2 delivered. Off speed and jammed him. It'll stay at a ball and 2 strikes. Albers worked 2/3 of an inning out of the bullpen. He gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. Mark Hendrickson 1/3 of an inning, 4 runs on 3 hits. Kevin Millwood, the starter, 6 runs on 10 hits over 5 2/3. And Russo battling here, fouling off some pitches. Castillo still with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. And Russo in the air to center. 1 down in the 9th. Yankees have put up the 2nd best record in baseball, not just the American League, behind the Tampa Bay Rays. It's the best start the Yankees have had to this point since the 2004 season. 3 hit ball games. The American League leaders in that department: Robinson Cano, Josh Hamilton, Kendry Morales, Ichiro, and Nick Swisher.
How about the Angels since Morales got hurt? They're going 6 in a row. They're on a 14-game road trip.
Imagine that.
It's like the old days. Used to go on 17-day road trips.
Oh, yeah.
They'd give you all the meal money.
Twice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The Angels have had a battle in that West that it looks like it's going to be a great race. As nobody's going to win a whole lot of games. The Angels are back on top of Texas now by a half a game. They've won 6 in a row. Oakland's a game and a half out. Seattle, many people preseason thought would be the surprise team. They're surprising people, but not in the right way. They're 7.5 games out in the last place. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and that's going to be a monster pop-up. First base should take it, and it doesn't. Swisher is on.
Well, there's your first error.
That'll be E3.
Castillo, Alberto saying there it is, and then all of a sudden, Wiggy doesn't just catch it. That ball was up there.
Yes, pop up.
So the Orioles have the first error of the ball game. That puts Swisher on again. And now Teixeira.
Just made you thinking he came in running and was hitting on his heels, and that ball started bouncing on him up there.
1-0 count. Teixeira's delivered a home run. 2 RBI homer is ninth. He's got a 3-hit ball game. And he's also drawn a walk, so he's been perfect at the plate tonight. 2 singles, a walk, and a homer.
Well, he said, you know what, I had a horrible April. You talked about his May, 26 RBIs in 29 games. Of course, the pundits say, well, he had 3 of those home runs in one game up in Boston. Well, it's good. It counts. 5 RBIs. Yeah, you know, you still had to do it. And he said that even when he drove in, he had 43 home runs, drove in 144 runs with the Rangers. Next year was like 112. He said, people said, well, you didn't have as good a year. Well, he said, I didn't, but so what?
Oh, my gosh. Wow, that may be the most questionable call of the night.
Well, there have been a cast of thousands, though, unfortunately.
Gosh.
Well, he's getting around and meeting everybody.
That's not that bad. There we go. Let's see. Grand Teton National Park. That strike zone.
Actually laughing. So Teixeira's out of there on a strikeout.
Well, the scoreboard lets you laugh if you're up by 7.
2 down. Oh, wow. Take it back.
There we go.
That's ease.
Here's Pena, first at bat. Two away. Pena reaching to protect. Wigginton will make the play. No runs, no hits in error, and a base runner left on. Bottom of the 9th inning. 12-5 Yankees.
Really struggled again. So 3 home runs for the Yankees, and Gary, once again, one of those games, just a bunch of singles for the O's. Back to you.
Yeah, we've talked about how hard it is, Jim, to get runs when you're putting up singles. There are 11 singles there, and then the home run hit by Jones that accounted for 2 of them. So the Orioles go to the bottom of the 9th. Juan Samuel seeing this ball game get away in the 7th inning when the Yankees got 6 runs on 5 hits. Hughes looking to go 8-1. Millwood would be the loser. He would be 0-7. Robertson worked an inning, gave up 1 hit, had a couple of strikeouts. Chad Gaudin coming on to try and finish this up. Gave up the home run to Jones. And now we'll work to the top of the order. Lugo, Tejada, and Markakis are due up. Lugo tonight has had a single and a run scored. 1 for 4 in the ball game. Lugo will foul that off. With a victory tonight, if they get it, and Hughes comes away with a win, he and Andy Pettitte will be putting up some big early numbers for these two teams, for this Yankee ball club, the two of them. And that's going to miss inside, anchoring what has suddenly become a pretty good foursome for the Yankees.
Yeah, and, and if you go back to look at last year, and of course it's not like a four-wheel drive where you can just turn the switch on or whatever, but Sabathia was so good from about late June on. Went like 17-2. And of course the Orioles will see him tomorrow. And Pettit, I talked to Andy today. He had he missed that one start. Just had some tightness in his forearm. In fact, again against the Orioles, couldn't throw a curveball, and so he just kind of missed the start. And he said he feels good again.
He wasn't happy about missing it. He wanted to go out to pitch and really tried to get his manager to agree. I think on hindsight, he decided no, probably not. Andy Pettit sitting over there. The Orioles will not have to face him. They get Sabathia and Burnett in the remaining two. Here's Tejadas, 2 singles, 2 for 4 in the ballgame. Foul tipped and strike one.
Well, Chad Gaudin, it's not about, again, he's a little bit like, throws a little bit harder than Alberto Castillo. It's just when he makes bad pitches, they hit him. Tells me the ball's probably a little bit straight. When he makes good pitches, he gets the hitters out.
Gets that one in. And a 2-strike count.
Well, the Orioles need Miguel to get back to where he was last year. I ran into Mark Wiley, who's the advanced scout now for the Marlins, and he said Tejada really had a terrific year. He was pitching coach for part of the year last year, in fact, almost all the year for the Marlins, and he said, that's how he got 199 hits. He didn't miss too many pitches.
Runner at first, 1-2 delivered. Off the fist, that should fall in. It is a base hit. Nobody covering third. Gaudin gets over, but it won't matter. So Tejada's got a 3-hit ball game, 3 singles. And runners on at first and third here in the 9th with nobody out. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. So far, close. Leaders, Granderson and Hughes. You can still text in your vote A, B, or C to 51862. The results on the O's Extra post-game show.
I tell you, I hope Tejada takes this into one of those good nights. I mean, he's got a couple of hits, and that wasn't the hardest hit ball. But like I said, it's about being positive about your plate approaches up there. You got to be.
Well, you know as well as anybody. I mean, you're down by 7 runs. You don't give away. If you're a good hitter, you don't give away at bats.
You don't give them away. He took a pretty big cut, but that ball ran in on him, and he got him on the hands. And just hopefully he can come out, really positive tomorrow, and, maybe start up something. I know that's one thing that's probably a little tired of hearing around here. Well, we're going to play onto this. We're going to hopefully build on this, and it just hasn't happened. But somewhere it's got to click, hopefully, for these guys.
Tejada gets his 6th 3-hit ball game of the year. He's at first. Marquez trying to get an RBI, at least one. Runners at first and third, nobody out.
And we've seen Mick. We've talked about it, and he's made an adjustment. You mentioned in spring training he thought his hands were they were pretty much static right in front of his chest, and his hands are back, and he started to hit well.
Marquez, he's got a shot that's going to be a base hit into the corner. Lugo will score. Tejada's on his way to third. He'll be waved home. Swisher gets it into the cutoff man. It's a 2 RBI double for Marquez. And the Orioles make it a 12-7 game.
He ran like he was about 21. Tejada coming around the bases. There you go. Nice night for Nick Markakis.
Well, there's that pitch. You don't throw the left-hander.
Well, he's gotten a curveball and then that slider, Eddie, today.
Yep.
And hit both of them. Well, we saw that. That was similar to the slider that Granderson hit for the grand slam.
It's something about left-handers and down and in.
Well, you would know as well as anybody.
Well, still, I was a real right-handed hitter. I preferred it up.
Gaudin struggling here to try and finish out the ball game. Good play made by Cervelli.
And that doesn't play well in New York.
No, Gaudin's working his way off the staff.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you can't just throw sliders and lefties down and in. I mean, if you're going to, backdoor it. Throw it a little bit out of the zone. And good hitters like Nick Markakis will take advantage of it. And even that pitch, that should get me over slider.
Mitri's been up in the bullpen. Joe Girardi not trusting, obviously. He got 9th inning, and it was 12-5. He still had the bullpen active. Godin has given up 4 runs in the last 2 innings. Markakis on at second, still nobody out. And Cervelli on his way out.
Well, they need to get 27 outs to win this game. It's just, I learned that from Cal Ripken Sr. when I was playing instructional league. Big lead. That boy's starting to put away the bats. He said, we need 3 more outs, and that's what the Yankees need here.
And I would suspect you may even one more run here, and the closer's going to start just stretching. Rivera. There they are right there. They're just looking to see what's going to happen before he gets up, and there he goes, starting to stretch. Wigginton, 2 for 4. RBI and a base hit came in the 5th. Markakis on at second, nobody out here in the 9th. Orioles only 1 behind the Yankees with 14 hits, and Godin will miss 3-1.
I mean, I watched him pitch the other day, and even in 2 scoreless innings, he gave up 3 hits and a base on balls. He didn't score, but he's a leg swinger. When you swing your leg, you get around.
3-1 delivery to Wigginton. He'll take it. It's a strike. Godin, 3 previous games against the Orioles, a couple of runs on 5 hits and 3 2/3 innings. So the Orioles keep doing it. Yeah, that was actually a pretty good pitch.
Finally,
he said, smiling.
I know. I mean, that was actually a strike.
3-2 delivery, and Wigginton will fight it off. Rivera will loosen up. That was something that Girardi probably did not want to do.
12-5 going into the 9th.
Wigginton waiting, the 3-2 again. And Wigginton, towering fly ball, shallow left. Vargas Tim's coming on.
Well, if they had a kangaroo court and they end up winning this game, I mean, that would definitely be a fine. Coming in for Chad, coming in the 9th inning with a 12-5 lead, and you got to get your closer on. And you can do that when you're winning.
Yeah, I don't think you have the personalities to pull that off today.
Rivera easily loosening up.
Yeah, well.
Yankees starters are 3rd in ERA. Their bullpen is 6th. But as we've talked about all night, what you want to get to is the middle, not the end of the Yankee bullpen. In the dirt. Runner at second base, 1 away now. Luke Scott is singled. He's 1 for 3, a walk and a run scored. He came in on the Adam Jones home run in the 8th inning.
Well, if he hits one out here, I mean, then you get yourself a save situation.
Well, then you're in the ball. The Orioles are in the ball game. One delivery to Scott. He's going to get a base hit to right. Bounces in front of Swisher. Runner will stop at 3rd. Markakis, and the Orioles have 2 on here with 1 away.
And if you're Joe Girardi, you have to make sure. I mean, Rivera, I mean, that's the gold standard out there. He's 40 years old. Now all of a sudden, and I'm surprised, hey, I mean, you got to get ready in earnest.
Last at bat for Adam against Godin. 2 RBI homer in the last inning. Well, the Orioles have gone around the lineup here. 2 on, 1 down. Mitri had been up throwing, and apparently Joe Girardi's made the decision. If anybody's coming, it's going to be Rivera once it's a save situation. And he's staying with Godin until then. And that slider is in there for a strike. 2 on, 1 away, 9th inning. Much different ball game, I think, than anyone thought it was going to be when we went to this bottom of the 9th. Nasty down and in.
There's a lot of movement right there. It got up under him. It's going over the top of it.
Yeah, I think if you're a pitching coach, you look at the total package, you go, oh, got pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I can work with this.
Yeah. And they did last year. I mean, he pitched well. He started for him, as we mentioned early on when he came on.
Stayed right inside. Jones retired 2 away.
Well, that's a perfect example of a guy really struggling, never had to throw a strike.
Adam, by the way, with that home run he got, that's the first home run he's had here at Camden Yards this year. 6 on the road, 1 at home. So 1 Samuels Ball Club down to 1 to work with. Leaders already with a 3-hit ball game, 1 RBI, 3 singles, 3 for 4. Knott takes out towards short. Pena, close but got him. And this one's in the books. As the Yankees come away with a 12-7 win, the Orioles here in the bottom half of the 9th inning get a couple of runs on 3 hits, but not enough. That'll do it. Game 2 coming up tomorrow. Use the winner here, 8-1. Millwood 0-7, the loser. We'll see in Game 2. Chris Tillman and CC Sabathia. Our coverage on Masson HD will begin at 6:30 with those extra, presented by your local Ford dealer, followed by game coverage at 7. For Jim Palmer and Theo Harrison, Eddie Murray, I'm Gary Thorne. We bid you adieu. This has been a Masson presentation. Those extra, Jim and Rick coming up. A look back as the Yankees exploded early and won it.